Indiana basketball pregame is brought to you in part by your Central Indiana Chevy dealers. In Central Indiana, we drive Chevy.
Hello once again and welcome to Indiana basketball, the pregame edition. I'm Gary Lee along with Ted Kitchell as Indiana wraps up the regular Big Ten season today on the road in the Carver Hawkeye Center in Iowa City against the Iowa Hawkeyes. On today's show, we're going to devote a lot of time to the seniors. Of course, they were honored following their win over Wisconsin on Thursday evening. We'll have taped highlights of the senior farewell. We'll also have comments and highlights from Ted Kitchell. And we will introduce you to the academic head basketball coach at IU, Buzz Kurpius. A lot coming your way, so stay with us.
Come and celebrate the grand opening of United Home Furniture's newest store just west of 465 in Hills Plaza on Washington Street, and save like you've never saved before. This sofa was $4.99, now only $2.59. Buy the whole group for $28 per month. Nobody beats our prices. This dinette set was $6.99, now only $3.99. The entire group only $37 per month. Both stores are celebrating the grand opening. This dresser and mirror was $4.99, now only $2.99. Buy the four-piece group for only $30 a month. Thousands of furniture items, grand opening priced. United Home Furniture, save!
Very few Indiana farmers receive the coveted Master Farmer Award each year. John Harden Jr. of the Danville community has received that honor, and like most farmers, he has a large investment to protect. That's why John and other Master Farmer winners have chosen Indiana Farmers Mutual Insurance Group. Founded by farmers over 100 years ago, Indiana Farmers now insures thousands of Indiana farms.
Our family has been with Indiana Farmers Mutual for 3 generations, and we've been well pleased with the service.
See the yellow pages for our agent nearest you.
Choice. Everyone likes to have a choice. This is Bill Bainbridge for your local Scheid Tire Centers, and we've got 14 Indiana locations and plenty of General Radial tires to choose from. Take a look at the Economy All-Season Amera XL4 or the Premium All-Season Ameriway XT. Both tires feature 2 steel belts for strength and durability and white sidewall styling to enhance your car's appearance. Visit Scheid Tire Centers soon and choose the General tire that's right for you.
Budget has a brand new fleet of cars that you can rent at money-saving weekend rates. Economy models start at just $16.95 a day with plenty of free miles. Or step up to Lincoln Town Car Luxury for just $34.95 a day. And if your car's in the shop, Budget has the area's largest selection of replacement cars at the best rates. Plus, get a coupon book worth over $200 at hotels, restaurants, and much more. Yours free with any rental. Call Budget Rent-A-Car today and save.
We have a lot to cover this afternoon, so getting right to the standings. First of all, we like to see Indiana after clinching it at 15-2. Illinois now a couple of games back. There is no chance, of course, for Illinois to catch up at 13-4. Then it's Michigan at 12-5. Iowa going in at 9-8. And then Wisconsin at 8-9. And then we have Minnesota also at 8-9. Purdue, Ohio State, Michigan State, and Northwestern. Today in the Big Ten, here is a big matchup. Illinois at Michigan. And then Wisconsin will be at East Lansing to take on the Spartans of Michigan State. Also today, Northwestern at Purdue and Minnesota at Ohio State. It took a victory over Wisconsin to clinch it all Thursday evening, and we've had some problems in the past with play along the baseline. Got a big lift early in the contest from a freshman, although it was a senior night, and then the second half, it was a senior that took over underneath.
Yeah, Todd Jadlow played very well in the second half. I've been on him throughout the year, but I have to, I think he's played very well this year and played his role pretty well. Eric Anderson, of course, played very well. He did a nice job of getting the team going, and a lot of that, again, has to do with the people out front, getting those people the ball as we take a look. Right away, Jay Edwards makes a fabulous pass. He's thrown a lot of these this year, and this is a great pass to Eric Anderson. Eric Anderson really seemed to have his head in the game the other night, really came out strong, and really got us into the game. Here he posts up nice, makes a tough move along the baseline, gets it in the hole. Jadlow goes to the boards real well. And, it's important for IU to go very far. They're going to have to be strong inside because their guard play has been good. We shoot the ball well, but we have to get good rebounding and good play for the people inside. Jamal Meeks, again, comes off the bench, did an excellent job of getting the ball, pushing the ball up the floor, and getting it to the people he should get it to. Here he makes a tremendous pass. He knows Joe's going to cut to the basket. And then Joe gets a little shove, and as you take a look, he's going to show a little bit of his competitive spirit here. Joe doesn't back away from nobody. He don't care how big you are, and that's the type of player he is. He's very competitive and plays very hard. Todd, you have improved there. I'd still like to see you lay it off the board, but at least you got it in the basket, and that's all that counts. That's the most important thing to me. Danny Jones, he's a tremendous player, only a junior. IU's already seen enough of him. Thank goodness he fouled out with about 8 or 9 minutes to go, or I think IU would have had even more difficulty in beating Wisconsin than they did. And we end up with, again, an excellent pass from Joe into Eric and for an easy basket.
One question we've been asked many times in letters that we've received this season: would you like to be a coach?
Would I like to be a coach? In the right opportunity, I guess maybe I would like that, but you know, it would have to be a special opportunity.
You're hedging on the answer. All right, we told you we're going to devote a lot of time to the seniors, so we'll take this break, come back, and hear from all of them. Stay with us.
Get a green machine.
Enjoyed their play during their tenure at IU. Now is a chance to hear from the seniors, so let's go back and show you some highlights from Thursday evening's senior farewell.
Kind of feel like I'm being thrown to the wolves right now. Been thinking about this for the last week, what exactly I'm going to say, and I'm just as nervous as I had thought about. I'm not doing much thinking right now. The one thing I did want to get accomplished in this brief speech was thanking the people that have made this such a great experience for me. First of all, I have to start with Coach Knight for allowing me to participate on the team. As some of you may know, or some of you might be looking through your programs right now, I'm not even sure who I am, but I showed up here. Yeah, part-time manager and player, but that's enough of the jokes. Anyways, I showed up here 2 years ago with my duffel bag and my pair of basketball shoes with one mission, and that was to make Indiana's basketball team. And right now I feel really good about that. I'm also really a part of this senior group right here. I look back at these 5 guys, and I can't believe I'm part of this group. It's a tremendous effort. And, okay, I'm going to get on here. I really want to thank Luke Johnson, the Religious Studies Department, for offering some clarity to my life and putting me on the right path when I got here. I still have 3 years left to graduate. I'm a 5th-year senior, but it's going to be accomplished. And this certainly has ended in a fairy tale way, and I'm happy about that. Well, I think that's it. I'm not sure who's next after me. I haven't got that far in school yet. Who's, Todd, yeah.
I'd like to thank all the sports writers over there for picking us so low this year. You know, it really gave us an incentive, really, to work hard, and you know, no one gave us a second chance, and here we are. We've got a picture of the ring in our locker right now, and before long we're going to be wearing it. So I'd like to say thanks to all you guys. These guys here, what more can you say? Cree Smith and Mike, people don't notice what they do for the team. It's unbelievable. The support they give us, and the encouragement, practice. I could sit here and go on and on about them. You really can't describe in words how much they mean to this team. And Magnus and Brian and Joe, they've been through it all here, just like I have, and the people here sitting over there on the bench have. I really don't want to go in about all that, but it's been worth it. To get on with this, I'd like to thank assistant coaches. People really don't understand how much time that they put in and how much they really do care about you. I know when they get on us a lot, but they're really looking out for the best for us. I know Joby's been on me since the day one I got here, and a lot of times he may not think that I respect that, but I really do, and I'd like to say thanks for that. That goes Coach Locke and Felling, Howdy Get It, and Dan Dockich. I'd like to thank Coach Knight for giving me the opportunity to come here and play. It's been great. I really can't say that, you know I'd do it all over again if I had the chance. It's been a great 4 years. We've got 3 championship rings. I don't think anyone else could ask for any more than that. We worked hard, and I know he's worked hard, too. I'd like to say thanks to Adam Gross, Steve Libertozzi, and Jeff Borglin and Carolyn Skirvin for all the support they've given me since I've been here. I really appreciate that. You really learn what true friends are here. You know, when you're playing bad, you know, you really find out what a friend's all about. Anyway, thank you for all your support and all the letters you sent the team, and it really means a lot to us. And hopefully we'll go down to Iowa and get this next one and find us in Seattle. Thank you.
My dad told me when I left Columbia 5 years ago that when you have a lot of things to tell, it's a lot harder to write a short letter instead of a long one. And that's exactly what's going to happen here. I don't have a lot of time, and I'm just going to have to make it short. And I'd like to thank a lot of people out there, and I don't even know where to start. I guess my legal guardians, Bob Neely and Leslie Neely. They've been great to me. I just can't thank them enough for all they've done for Sunday meals and for all the great help and going out getting donuts at 2 o'clock in the morning when I'm depressed, and it's just great. I'd like to thank all the ladies in the academics office wherever they are right now, probably home, relaxing. They've done a great job with all the kids here, including myself. They've been great friends to myself and to, I don't know if they've been friends to these guys, more like they're teachers, but they've done a great job, and I don't know, Meeks is looking at me like, what's going on? It's just every time I go over there, she goes, where's Meeks at? I need to see Meeks. I love it. Down the line with the coaches, I should mention, first of all, Julio Salazar. He used to be my sort of assistant high school coach, and he helped me out a lot here, and he's been a terrific assistant here, even though they call him the head manager. He does a lot of the taping work and keeps the team in line, and I know a lot of you don't even realize he's here, but he is a great of a guy, hell of a guy, and I wish him the best of luck wherever he goes in the future. I'd like to appreciate what Joby did for me in Columbia for recruiting me and giving this great opportunity to come to this great country. It's a beautiful country, believe me. Some of you have never left Indiana, but it's incredible. And I guess Coach Knight, I have to thank him too for the great opportunity. No, I'm serious. He's done a great job with us, and a couple of years ago he took us around the world, and that's things that people forget, but I won't forget that. I know that was really, really great for us. Sometimes I used to kind of dislike Todd Jadlow because he broke my nose twice, my cheekbone, my chest, my leg. I mean, just incredible what he's done to me, but I really like the guy. Thank you.
I'd like to start out just by saying it's unbelievable. Your first year here, you get to see Dan Nube Blob talk on the microphone, and now you get to see Dan on the bench. He's a coach. He's your coach. You got to listen to the guy now. It's unbelievable. I would like to thank a lot of people, too, because there's been a lot of people here that have helped me in my 5 years. And a lot of the guys have already mentioned some of them. But before I start, I'd like to say thanks to a guy who isn't here, who is at home right now, maybe watching this on TV, that everybody missed tonight. It's Jeff Oliphant. He had knee surgery. He had knee surgery, and I know he'd like to be here, you know, as much as anybody would, but I'd like to thank him. He's been my roommate for 2 years, and Scott Dolson, who's also been my roommate. They're unbelievable helps to me, and they put up with me. What can I say? I'd also like to thank Monina and Dr. Sanglang, who've been unbelievable help and support to a lot of the guys on the team. And the support they give us is fantastic. The people that give us support are just unbelievable. I see another one of my friends up there, Kelly, who's given me unbelievable support throughout the years. And Bill Sayer and his family have been giving me unbelievable support, and a lot of these other guys' support throughout the years. And I could go on thanking people, but a couple people I'd like to thank. The most I'd like to thank. My dad came all the way from Utah. And my mom and sister came all the way from Florida. Thank you very much. I love you all. But this season, getting back to that, has been fantastic. Everybody counted us out before the ball was even dropped. And you can look no further than these guys over here, the coaching staff, these fantastic guys over here, Coach Knight who's in the locker room. We never doubted ourselves. We always had belief in Coach Knight. If we just listened to what he said and what he wanted done, we would get the job done. And look where we are now. We're Big Ten champions. It's unbelievable. One more thing, I don't know if anybody's going to mention these people, but these people are definitely unsung heroes as far as Indiana basketball is concerned, and it's our unbelievable managing staff. We got great managers that do a tremendous job, and they don't get any notoriety, and thank you, each and every one of you guys. I've taken up far too much time, and I know Joe's got a lot to say, but all I got to say to everybody is thank you.
I was a little rusty out there tonight. It's been a while since I've been out there, and it felt good. I remember 5 years ago, standing over here, or sitting over there when Danny and Uwe were up here, and thinking, you know, well, hell, I'll never be up there. I mean, that's 5 years. That's so long from now, and I just never thought I'd get this far. And it's hell playing. It's not hell playing here. It's rough, and you say, you know, you don't know if you're ever gonna forget it. I'm just glad that I'm here, and I wouldn't change my mind for anything. I'd go through it again, and the friendships that I've made are unbelievable. I'd just like to thank the five seniors, the rest of the players, Coach Knight for giving me the chance to play here. Like I said, I'd love to come. I'd come here again. I wish I was 18 again. And more than anything, I'd like to thank my family, and more in particular my mother and father and my sister and my grandmother, Granny. It's been, you know, I've called them many a time, and I've been really down, and they've always been there for me. And I think we should all give all the families a big round of applause right now. That's it. Thank you. It's been great.
First of all, I'd like to start this off by thanking my parents for coming out, my brother. I'd also like to thank my roommate for putting up with me for a while. It's been a tough 4 years with him, but he's all right. And then we also had another straggler live with us for a semester, Andy Nugent. I'd like to thank him. The one thing that's so great about coming here, when I came here from California 5 years ago, and the whole thing was I came on my visit, came to an exhibition game and saw you people, how enthusiastic it was and how much the people love basketball here compared to California, and that made me come right then and there. And I want to thank all you people, and you can ask, there's some California guys in here today. Bob Clemo, I see him right here, Jim Reams, and a couple of my dad's friends, they're here. You can ask them what this is compared to anything out in California, and they'll tell you this is the best place to come and watch a basketball game in the country. One thing about this team that I'd like to let everybody know about, I've been here on 5 teams now. We've gone through some hard times. First year I was here, second year we improved. Third year we win the national champion. And last year a lot of things were expected of us, and we had a tough year. Things didn't go as we would liked, and this year is the direct opposite. Everybody counted us out, and we come around, turned this around, and had just a great season. One thing I'd like to say, though, this team, with all the seniors and all the underclassmen, there's never been a team that I've been around that's had so much fun together, not so much on the court, but off the court, too. We've really got along well, and I think that's been one of the keys to our success this season, because we have a lot of fun. I'd like to thank Coach Knight. When I called him in August and told him I was going to the Instructional League, I thought, you know, and I was all prepared to go to the Instructional League and not come back and play my 5th year, but he was real good about it. He said, yeah, do it. I got no problem with you showing up November 1st. And, you know, I remember my mom saying, God, why do you want to go back? And I said, hey, why not? I mean, you never know what's going to happen. And look what happened now. We're the Big Ten champ.
The Merchants National Companies.
Welcome back to our pregame show. In the Bob Knight basketball program, the work ethic in the classroom is just as important as it is in the basketball court. And just as we have a coaching staff for basketball, there's a coaching staff for academics. And the head coach is Buzz Kurpius. Elizabeth Buzz Kurpius was hired by Lee Corso in 1974 as an assistant football coach for academics. 2 years Knight asked her to oversee the basketball program as well. Now she and her staff handle academic affairs for all 600 male and female athletes at Indiana. Her contact with the athlete begins at the time he or she is recruited.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. We talk to each athlete that comes to visit the campus on their official visit. Talk to them about what our expectations are for them, what some of the services are that we can provide, and some of the majors. And we plan a schedule with them that they might have the first semester when they come. We want them to know from the very beginning, this is a real live institution and you've got to do your coursework while you're here. And we're pushing our students from the first time they come to the campus toward that degree. And every semester, each athlete has to come in and sit down and plan their schedule for the next semester with us. We want them to have a game plan for registration, just like they have a game plan for the Michigan game.
You were speaking to me earlier off camera about the correlation between concentration on the basketball court, work ethic there, and in the classroom.
If you're willing to be late to class, you're going to be willing to miss a shot on the court. You're just not going to concentrate on the court if you're not willing to concentrate in the classroom. If you're having problems in your social life, it's going to carry over to the court and carry over to your academics. So you have to have all three of those areas in good shape.
Can you, for the sake of our viewers, kind of quickly go through a semester?
In the very beginning of the semester, I worry about if they've got their tutors set up, if they've got their books, and they're attending class. That's the very first thing. Then I send cards to their professors twice a semester, and we get about 83% return on those cards. And the professor will write he's getting what his grade is. They'll also put a comment on their class attendance isn't great, or they should be working harder in the classroom, whatever the comment might be. When those cards come back, I share them with the student. I Xerox them and send a copy to Coach Knight. We want to have information from the beginning of the semester how the student's doing. There's not anything you can do at the end of the semester. Coach Knight is really interested in the student-athlete's welfare, and he wants them to be able to get their degree. That's a high priority with him, and it's not just lip service. And the kids know that.
I mean, what kind of a student was Ted Kitchell?
Ted was a good student.
Never cut class?
Well, I think he cut class once in a while. We got on his case, too.
All right, there's the truth. There's the truth. A nice lady, but she says you were a problem at times.
Hey, people that enjoy Indiana basketball, anytime you see Buzz Kurpius at the game, be sure and thank her, because she is a real main reason why Indiana has been so successful. She's just a tremendous, tremendous asset to the Indiana basketball program and to all the Indiana athletics.
And everybody graduates. We'll take a break, come back, stay with us. Worries you about Iowa?
First of all, they've got 3 seniors making their last appearance. It's a game that doesn't mean a lot for IU. I'm interested to see how they play. And most importantly, Iowa was embarrassed on national TV the other night. I'm sure that they'll play very well.
Of course, Indiana wants that #1 seed, hopefully at the Hoosier Dome for NC2A play. Don't forget our post-game show. That's it. Let's take you now to Iowa City, the Hawkeyes and the Hoosiers.
The following is a copyrighted presentation of the Big Ten Conference. A day of emotion here in Iowa City, Iowa. 3 beloved seniors, 3 of the best to wear the Iowa uniform. Ed Horton, the Big Ten's leading rebounder. B.J. Armstrong, one of the finest point guards of the country. And Roy Marble, the school's all-time leading scorer. Today, their final game as members of the Hawkeyes here in Iowa City. The Hawks play host to the Indiana Hoosiers. Big Ten Conference basketball. Today live from Carver Hawkeye Arena in Iowa City. It's the Indiana Hoosiers and the Iowa Hawkeyes. Today's game is brought to you by U.S. Air. U.S. Air warms up your winter with flights to Arizona, Florida, and California. By Buick and your Buick dealer. The Great American Road belongs to Buick. And by Mr. Goodwrench. No one knows your GM car better than Mr. Goodwrench. No one. And Bud Light. Everything else is just a light. We're live at Carver Hawkeye Arena in Iowa City, Iowa. The curtain falls on the Big Ten regular season as the Indiana Hoosiers visit the Iowa Hawkeyes. And a pleasant good afternoon, everyone. I'm Wayne Larrabee. The Indiana Hoosiers have wrapped up the Big Ten regular season championship. They should get the #1 seed in the Midwest Regional of the NCAA tournament. The Iowa Hawkeyes, on the other hand, are coming in on a 3-game losing streak. You don't want to go to the big show on a 4-game skid. As we mentioned, it's Seniors Day. A lot of emotion here. And the Hawkeyes feel that this game, if they can pull out a win, will have a positive impact on where they'll be seated in next week's tournament. A pleasure to be working with Quinn Buckner. And Quinn, Bob Knight's going to take this opportunity to rest some of his starters here.
Yeah, Wayne, that is the case tonight. Bob Knight has decided not to play Jay Edwards, Todd Jadlow. When you go in the NCAA tournament, it's important that emotionally and physically you're ready to play. Indiana has had to expend a lot of energy to capture this championship. Because of the athletes they've had to play against, the guys are a little worn out with some sore backs, sore ankles. I think it's a wise decision. There's not a lot to gain in playing tonight's contest other than give some players a chance to play that normally don't play. You know, Free Smith is going to get an opportunity to play, Robertson, White, and I think that's good for Indiana. It gives them a chance to see some players that can potentially help them in the tournament.
And, of course, for Iowa, they're trying to get on that emotional edge, that physical plane to go into the tournament on a successful note.
Well, they really are. Iowa had a tough loss at Illinois. Illinois is as good as any team in the country, but Iowa wants to come out today. It'll be an emotional contest, Wayne. When you have the senior day, the seniors will play hard. The rest of the team will play hard because it's senior day. But more importantly, they have to come together as a unit to go into the NCAA tournament. This is an excellent opportunity for them.
All right, the Hawkeyes and Hoosiers coming up. We'll have the starting lineups for you after these words.
The new Buick Riviera. It's a classic all over again.
The road has been waiting, you're anticipating the spirit you felt way back when. Riviera is back, a classic again. A legend once more, what the road's waited for. Riviera, a classic returns. All the great American road belongs to Buick. It's not just a car, it's your freedom.
So, car in good shape?
Yeah, had it all checked out.
Gas station?
Nah, GM dealership. Figure those Goodwrench guys know what they're doing.
Good. So any idea where you're going?
Not exactly. But I'll let you know when I get there.
I'll be waiting.
Mr. Goodwrench knows it's not just a car, it's your freedom.
This fantasy is brought to you by Unical. Since 1951, we've fueled more NASCAR winners than all other gasolines combined. And we put that same high performance and winning spirit into gasolines for your car.
And that was a fine piece of driving.
Oh, it was nothing.
What's that, Murph?
Nothing, nothing yet. There's nothing.
If you're planning a vacation this winter, U.S. Air has some good news and some bad news. The good news is U.S. Air has low fares on lots of departures to sunny Florida, Arizona, and California. The bad news is our low fares are round trip.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Carver Hawkeye Arena, the home of the Iowa Hawkeyes. Here are the starting lineups for today's Big Ten Conference contest between the Hoosiers from Indiana University and the University of Iowa Hawkeyes. At forward for Indiana, a 6'7" junior from Charlotte, North Carolina, number 5, Chucky White. 6'8" senior from Springfield, Illinois, number 25, Dan Horton. At the other forward for the Hoosiers, a 6'5" junior from Panorama, California, number 10, Mark Robinson. And at forward for the Hawkeyes, a 6'5" freshman from Summit, Illinois, number 32, Ray Thompson. The centers for Indiana, a 6'8" senior from McLeansboro, Illinois, number 45, Brian Sloan. And for the Hawkeyes at center, a 6'10" junior from West Des Moines, number 50, Matt Fuller. The guards for Indiana, a 6-foot freshman from Freeport, Illinois, number 23, Jamal Meeks. For the Hawkeyes at one guard, a 6'6" senior from Flint, Michigan, number 23, Roy Marble. At the other guard for the Hoosiers, a 6'7" senior from Tipton, Indiana, number 42, Creed Smith. And at point guard for the Iowa Hawkeyes, a 6'2" senior from Detroit, Michigan, number 10, B.J. Armstrong. The head coach for Indiana in his 18th season with the Hoosiers, Bob Knight, assisted by Joby Wright, Ron Felling, and Dan Dockish. And for the Iowa Hawkeyes in his 3rd season, Tom Davis, assisted by Gary Close, Bruce Pearl, Rick Moss, and Rudy Washington.
We'll return after these messages from your local stations.
The University of Missouri had a communication problem. How to bring together 4 different campuses and hundreds of different departments. So GTE recommended their Centranet system, which not only gave the university greater capabilities, but allowed 75,000 people to communicate a lot better. You see, at GTE, it's not just communications we offer, it's solutions. Call us, and everything will fall into place.
12, 11, 10. Loser takes out the trash.
Okay, for a week.
He's late. He's late. It's up.
Oh, but there's still 5 seconds left on the clock.
Time out. The Hoosiers are on. Go Hoosiers.
Today's game is brought to you by your local Chevy dealer. In Central Indiana, we drive Chevy.
Today's starting lineup brought to you by Buick. White and Robinson are junior college transfers. Brian Sloan's father, Jerry, is the head coach of the Utah Jazz. Ed Horton, Ray Thompson, Matt Bullard, Roy Marble, and B.J. Armstrong, the starting 5 for the Iowa Hawkeyes. Bullard getting a start here today. Indiana won the first meeting between these two teams, and the Hawkeyes control the tip.
Bullard got the start today because this is the lineup that Iowa wants to go with the NCAA tournament. It's a good opportunity to get him involved right away as opposed to bringing him off the bench.
Armstrong had a foot on the three-point line. Horton retrieves the rebound. Rebound taken by Thompson, who scores, but it won't count. Apparently stepped on the baseline, or so it appeared. Now let's see with Sam Lickletter. Maybe he does have a foul. In fact, he does. Foul is called on Indiana's Mark Robinson. His first foul of the game. Bullard looking at the inbounds.
Well, as we talked about, I expect to see an emotional game from Iowa, but they have to be patient on what they try to get accomplished.
Horton, first points of the game. Sometimes these seniors' days can be very trying indeed, in that you're either going to play lights out or you're not going to play very well at all. It doesn't seem to be much of an in-between for a player in this situation.
Yeah, and you have to be careful about that, because if you come out at the top and play very emotional, there's a tendency to later part of the game or the half of the game to be flat. So Iowa will do well to just be patient and take what the defense gives them. They seem to be at somewhat of an advantage at this point.
Jamal Meeks, good interior feed to Sloan, had it blocked by Ray Thompson. Here comes Armstrong. Rebound, Robinson. Mark Robinson, the junior from Ventura, California. The outlet broken up. Armstrong to Horton. Here's a lead for Chucky White. Gets by Armstrong and is fouled by Horton from behind. First on Horton. That's the first on the team.
Well, you saw a good outlet to get the ball up to Chucky White, who made, I thought, an outstanding play. B.J. Armstrong came at him. Chucky, 6'5", they would go between his legs, go to the basket, and get the foul.
The free throw line now, Chucky White, junior from Charlotte, North Carolina. Transfer from Dodge City Junior College. Played a lot earlier in the season. His playing time had been limited recently. Again, Bob Knight sitting down his starting lineup here today.
Well, Wayne, this is a good opportunity for some of these other kids like Chucky White to get to play. If he plays well in this game, he'll have an opportunity to play in the NCAA. But because he struggled so early, this becomes more crucial for him than some of the other players on the team.
Marble. Robinson the rebound. And Horton tipped it away, and the senior picks up his second personal foul here in the early going. Second on the team. Brian Sloan will inbound for Indiana. Hawkeyes with that pressure in the backcourt. This is Jamal Meeks. Played pretty well the other night against Wisconsin. Didn't score, but gave them some good solid playing minutes. Cree Smith from the outside. He's been injured much of his career. Horton double dribble.
That's a good call by the official. That was in traffic. Gary Muncie's still able to see it. But you're right, Jamal Meeks has played well, not only against Wisconsin, but what he's done is, as I talked to Bob Knight about his team, is that he's made Lyndon Jones play at a much higher pitch. Lyndon Jones, being of such a good basketball program, was able to get away with doing some things in high school. At this level, you can't. Jamal Meeks has put pressure on Lyndon Jones to make him a better player, too.
Chucky White at the point. Now Jamal Meeks sets it up. Meeks is a freshman from Freeport, Illinois. Sloan. Cree Smith hits it from the outside.
Good patience by the Hoosiers there. You break down any defense by getting the ball either down low or in the center of the defense where the zone has to collapse, which Iowa was in. They did that time. Sloan threw it out to Cree Smith for the basket.
B.J. Armstrong, senior out of Detroit. Ray Thompson's going to be a great player in this league. There's Bullard, one of the best transfers in the league. Had to adjust the shot. Looking Bill tries to keep the rebound alive, and it's taken by Cree Smith.
Yeah, that's a bad shot, and that's what Iowa can't afford to get into. There's no need to take a shot by trying to get it off the dribble. You take your time and you'll get your shots.
Chucky White on the block over Ray Thompson. So the makeshift lineup for the Hoosiers takes the lead for the first time this afternoon. Iowa Hawkeyes have lost 3 in a row. First time they had lost 3 in a row under Tom Davis. Looking Bill, there's Bullard up high. Armstrong from the corner for 2. 3 minutes gone by, first half. Crowd thought that he took too much time to get it in play. Meeks, good decision on the break.
Great decision on the play, and the reason it was is because Jamal Meeks, knowing that the defense was backing off of him, just stopped, took the little jump shot and got it down.
Brian Sloan with the rebound. Here's Chucky White. Meeks sets up. There's Cree Smith. Did he have a crew cut last year, I believe?
Yeah, he did have a little bit of a crew cut.
He had a Marine cut last year. Here's Sloan down low. He is fouled on the play. Looking Bill on a bit of a hack. His first. That's the third on the team. A lot of people are concerned about the Iowa program here, and we'll talk about it in a moment as you get another look at it.
Well, you see Sloan has good position right here, and with that position, Looking Bill made a lunge for the ball, took himself out of position. Brian Sloan able to turn to the basket and got the foul.
When some fans and some members of the media maybe are a little concerned about Iowa. They've been blown out of their last 2 games. They've lost 3 in a row, but really the only game they feel they should have won was the Michigan State game. That's a game where they lost at home to Michigan State and felt that they were the better team, but Michigan State played better that night. The two other games you play at Michigan and the way they're playing right now, Illinois is playing very well right now. You know, it's kind of hard to, even if you have the talent of an Iowa, to feel you're going to win those games anyway on the road.
Well, you got to feel for sure you'll get one and possibly two out of those. And when they come up 0 for 3, it's a cause for concern, particularly in light of the fact you're at the latter part of the season where you should be getting better and winning 2 out of those 3 contests.
Coaching staff, though, is not going to panic, and they're going to stick with their kids and marble on the drive right there. Brian Sloan takes the rebound. Fact is, there's more panic outside the program than there is inside. Cree Smith on the drive, left it short. Jepson the rebound. Tom Davis feels his kids are going to be all right for the tournament this spring. Moses from the corner for 3.
Well, you saw Brian Garner in playing the guard. He came in for B.J. Armstrong, but when you get a guy to penetrate like Garner did, he got the ball out to Moses for the 3-point shot, and now you see the level of intensity picked up with the guys off the bench. A good side for the Hawkeyes.
Jepson with the long arms will defend on the inbounds. We've got a break of the action. It'll be Indiana ball when we resume. 15:49 left to go in the half, and the Hawkeyes lead by 1.
What's that? He's got our flashlight. Over there.
Good monkey. But Ed said Bud Light.
If you want the one light that outshines them all, ask for Bud Light, because everything else is just a light.
So hard to get good help.
You feel the motion. The fever is high.
If you like your cars big, smooth, and powerful, this ought to be your next one. The Pontiac Bonneville.
Get on your Bonneville and ride. Bonneville ride.
Bonneville, a lot of car, a lot of driving excitement. See your Pontiac dealer and check what up.
Get on your Pontiac. Excitement. Bonneville ride.
Some guys look at this, they see just another brake job. Just another brake job? Not to the guy who drives this car. Not to me either.
Mr. Goodrich knows it's not just a car, it's your freedom.
You know, it was great growing up on our ranch in Oklahoma. And now when I walk into a New York City restaurant and order up a little bitty Kansas City strip, makes me feel right at home.
I've got a taste for some real food.
Iowa leading in the early going over Indiana. A little over 4 minutes gone by. Hawkeyes come out shooting 4 of 11 from the field, 36%. Indiana, 3 out of 6. There's Bob Knight. I don't know, Quinn, maybe his best coaching job.
I don't think there's any question about it, Wayne. This is by far the best coaching job I've seen at Indiana, you know, since I've been part of the program or anything else. 87, I thought, was a great job to win the tournament, but considering that nobody thought they had a chance to win it this year and to win it and only lose, you know, thus far 2 games, I think is outstanding.
Chucky White, Sloan, good ball movement. Cree Smith for 3. Armstrong battling on the boards, had good position for the rebound. A lead pass intended for Horton, broke it up by the Hoosiers. I believe Sloan got a piece of it on the play.
Good defensive transition by the Hoosiers that time. B.J. Armstrong tried to get it up to Ed Horton, and it was Sloan who got back on defense after missing, getting the shot back in on the other end.
Brian Garner in the ball game for Iowa. Moses at the perimeter. There's Horton. Les Jepson, a good passer on the outside there. Horton with a bit of a fancy move. Lost the ball out of play.
That's a little too fancy when you kick it out of bounds.
Ed
like
had
that.
kind of a sheepish look on his face as he came back. Said, gosh, I hope no one saw that. Sloan having a lot of trouble getting it and finally finds Robinson. Hawkeyes pressing, and the Hoosiers have been laboring a little bit against that full court pressure here in the early going first half.
Well, it's fortunate for the Hoosiers they have somebody like Jamal Meeks in, because once you get it in his hand, it's hard for even 2 people to keep him from getting where he wants to go.
James Moses picks him up. Cree Smith. Sloan left unattended. Sloan coming back for the rebound, but Jepson pulls it off. To Ed Horton, 2-on-1 with Armstrong, and Horton leaves it short.
Well, that's the second play that Ed Horton's made like that. And if I'm Tom Davis, I'm concerned because that's the kind of play you don't want to have happen. Indiana doesn't have their normal starting five in, and that sometimes is a tendency for players on the opposition to get carried away, try things they shouldn't do. I think that's the case with Ed Horton right now.
Mark Robinson's field goal puts Indiana on top by a point. Almost 6 minutes gone by, first half. One thing about the late season Iowa, oh, there's the back door to Jepson. Nicely done. Ed Horton on the feed.
I haven't seen that before. That's a good play. You know, you get somebody like Ed Horton, Les Jepson, I should say, in the game. That's got to be pretty good. You see right here, Ed Horton has the ball at the top of the key, gets it to Jepson. And Jepson is really a kid, I think, that's come a long way. I didn't think he belonged in the conference last year, but I think he's shown people that he deserves to play and be a good player in the conference.
Indiana's had trouble getting the ball in play the last couple of times.
Well, Wayne, that's not so much Indiana that's just had that problem. I've seen a number of teams have that problem with Iowa, and I think when they've struggled, Iowa, that's one of the things they haven't gotten is good play from that press.
Got a foul coming up on the rebound battle. I believe it's on Brian Sloan, if I'm not mistaken. Sam Licklider with the call. Gary Muncy, Sam Licklider, Ron Witter, the officials for this afternoon's game. Foul is on Sloan, and it's his first personal foul, second on the team. There they are. Licklider's an assistant principal, Gary Muncy, a ring salesman, and Ron Witter, director of campus recreational activities at Western Michigan University. 13:44 to go, first half of play. Iowa Hawkeyes on the attack, 15th ranked team in the nation. Bullard for three. Marble is there for the rebound. Try to get the pass inside. Finally does get to Horton. Batted away. Horton has an opening. Good dish off to Marble.
Outstanding play by Horton. 6'7". He looks like, you know, he's a big kid, can't move. Able to get that pass to B.J. Armstrong. You see right there, Cruz Smith just threw the ball out of bounds from the pressure of the Hawkeyes.
Bob Knight.
One of the things you can't have happen, and I'm sure Bob Knight is thinking, is you can't afford to throw the ball away without, you know, having somebody get a hand or something like that. That time, Cruz Smith just threw the ball and overled Brian Sloan and just threw it out of bounds.
Bullard for three. Rebound taken by Jamal Meeks. Indiana Hoosiers trailing by 3. Meeks in traffic.
Boy, he gets in and out of traffic well.
Chucky White from the corner. Sloan on the tip. Battle for the rebound is on. Bullard almost ran out of real estate. Outlets to Armstrong. Here's Moses for three. Cree Smith was fouled by Marble. Number 1 on Marble. That is the 4th on the Hawkeyes. Hawks again will slap on the full court pressure per usual. Jepson back into the ball game, replacing Bullard. Mike DeLozio coming into the lineup now. Transfer from the University of San Francisco for Indiana, replacing Cree Smith. Jamal Meeks. It's a 2-on-2. Meeks on the drive. Nice feed to White.
Great play. Did a good job. Jamal Meeks did of setting the defense up. Stopped a little bit. Defense fell asleep. Jamal took it with authority, able to pass it off for the easy basket for Chucky White.
Iowa leading by a point. The Hoosiers sat down their starting lineup here today. Marble. There's Jepson. Matter of fact, Jadlow, who had, 32 points and something like 18 rebounds in the first game against Iowa, didn't even suit up. He and Edwards did not suit up for this afternoon's game. Armstrong on the drive. Horton is there. Had it blocked from behind, and a foul called on Jamal Meeks. His first, that's the 3rd of the team.
There's a foul right there, but, you know, Jadlow has had a lot of problems. You see on the screen, going to the basket is B.J. Armstrong, and you'll watch Ed Horton get the ball and reach across the back will be Jamal Meeks. He does hit Ed Horton on the hand. But, you know, both of those kids have had injuries for some time. For example, Jay Edwards had to be laid on the floor and tried to stretch his back out. He didn't practice Monday of this week. He didn't practice Monday. He only practiced something like 30 minutes or so on Tuesday, and then 45 minutes on Wednesday. So they thought it was a good idea to rest him, get him prepared to play in the tournament. And Jadlow, the same problem. He's twisted his ankle a couple of times. And, you know, it's funny. When I was at Indiana, it's like a December game almost here for the Hoosiers. you didn't know who was going to play in December. And it's almost like that now. This game does not have any real bearing on where they will be seeding anything. So that's what's going on here.
Magnus Pelkowski also in the ball game for Indiana. Boy, we're seeing the whole bench, aren't we?
Yeah, you are. And this is, again, a chance for a lot of the players to get a chance to play in the tournament.
Delosio leaves it short. Chases down the rebound. He was stepped on that 10-second line, and Sam Licklider calls the over and back violation. And Bob Knight, I think, wanted a foul called. He thought he was bumped, or no, he's upset with Delosio. We've got a break in the action. 11:44 left to go, first half. We'll return after these messages from your local stations.
Then what'd she do?
She kissed me.
No.
Uh-huh.
2 cold ones. I knew a girl like that once.
Did?
We're playing this game called Spin the Bottle. When it stopped, it was pointing right at me.
Then what?
She kissed me.
So what'd you do?
I married her.
Can't beat Coca-Cola Classic. Does Grandma know?
She's a little suspicious. How old was that girl?
Very old. 8.
It's a hurry-up-and-wait world, and we hate to wait. Yet the latest trend in restaurants seems to be the line.
Oh, I'm gonna take it.
There are so many things that mess up the day. It seems like more restaurants would remember the rest part.
Yes, I'm gonna take it.
If you're fed up with long lines at the fast fooders or weary of bumper tag at the food bars or just won't stand for steak anymore,
Take it sitting down at Bob's house.
Pella presents the difference between ordinary windows and windowscaping. Windows. Windowscaping. Windows. Windowscaping. If you like what you see, talk to the windowscaping experts only at your Pella window store.
Discover the Pella difference at one of these locations near you.
Larrabee and Quinn Buckner, we're in Hawkeye country where they start them out young. Iowa's 3 seniors, 4 of 13 shooting from the floor. I told you there was no in-between in these senior day performances. You're either real good or...
You know what that is, Wayne. Guys get so excited about being senior day.
It's understandable.
They get too psyched up sometimes, and I think a little bit of that is starting to show a little bit against Iowa. They'll surely calm down here later in the half.
Armstrong, that's a 2-pointer. Apparently had a toe on the 3-point line. There's the Iowa trap. Delosio, dribbling violation. Travel.
Well, Delosio is probably coming out of the contest. He's got to do a better job of handling the ball right there because Indiana had a 2-on-1 break, and because Delosio didn't handle the press very well, he knocked it out of bounds, and Bob Knight thinks it's time for him to come and sit and think about it.
There's a starter finally coming into the game for Indiana, Lyndon Jones. There's the steal by Jamal Meeks. Oh, missed the slam. Horton against Pelkowski.
I think Ed better pass on some of his tricks here today.
It'll belong to Indiana. And Tom Davis has a couple of Hawkeyes up off the bench. Looking Bill and Bullard coming in for Jepson and Horton.
Well, there was miscommunication there. You see Bob Knight one of the things he told Jamal Meeks, if you got an easy layup, take it. There's no need to try to get fancy and dunk the ball. See, Indiana had forced 13 turnovers Thursday against Wisconsin, and they only committed 5 of them. They got a lot more than that now. Got about 4 now.
Inside by Mark Robinson. He has 4 points, and Indiana trailing by just 2. Thompson out of the corner. First field goal of the day for freshman Ray Thompson. Meeks with the feed to Chucky White. Rebound taken off by Looking Bill. Somebody got a piece of that ball.
That was Raymond Thompson with a good hand up there. Chucky White tried to take it to the basket.
Foul right here on Lyndon Jones. B.J. Armstrong made a good move. First on Lyndon Jones, 4th on the team.
Lyndon Jones trying to shake it off a little bit. It's tough to come off the bench and be faced with somebody like B.J. Armstrong when he's throwing it between his legs 2 or 3 times. But Lyndon's got to, step up to that challenge. That's one that he'll face every day out in the Big Ten Conference. There's always good players.
Looking Bill off the inbound. Chucky White claims the rebound. Cree Smith. Indiana showing the patience, the weaving offense. Steal by Armstrong. Got a foul.
Chucky White, in his anxiety, is getting a bit of a conversation there. To pay attention to the defense. Right there, Chucky White just threw the ball. He never once watched B.J. Armstrong step right in there to make that steal. And I'm sure that's what Bob Knight is telling him. When you're playing offense, the thing you have to do is watch the defense and the defensive players.
The official gave the wrong signal on the number of the player to the scorer's desk. It should be on Chucky White, the foul. And I believe that's the correction Gary Muncie and company are making right now. Chucky White's first personal, that's the 5th on the team. Armstrong at the free throw line. You know, Quinn, I was mentioning that there's been some concern over this 3-game losing streak by fans and some members of the media here, but Tom Davis is confident in his seniors. And the one of the factors in getting a win here today is obviously building some kind of momentum for the NCAA tournament, but also the younger players. They're outside of the seniors. This is a very young Hawkeye team, and they're going through a 3-game losing streak for the first time. And obviously, younger players have a tendency to lose confidence more than the seniors who've been to the wars a lot.
Well, that's true, and it's important for your seniors to step up and just take control of the game so the young players don't get so involved in it from that aspect. And I think for the most part, the Iowa players have done a pretty good job. As you see the foul call against Magnus Stelkowski. But they've had a problem with Iowa of late. B.J. Armstrong is hurt, and I still don't think that he's fully recovered because with a hyperextended knee and playing with this level of competition, it makes it difficult to cut past people, use all your strength. And if he's not able to show by example the kind of growth that you need out on the court, the other players aren't able to pick up and respond to the fact that, yeah, we've lost 3 games, but we can still win.
And again, like I said, the one game that you figured they would have won in that 3-game streak would have been the Michigan State game here. The other two, you know, to beat Michigan and Illinois on the road the way those two teams are playing, like I say, it's no disgrace to lose to those teams in that situation. Thompson leads it short. Rebound, Chucky White. Be interesting to see what happens. You know, the Hawkeyes have had good luck in the NCAA tournament under Tom Davis. Last year, I believe they went into the tournament off of, what, a big loss to Indiana, what I remember.
Yeah, it was. And, you know, they got to the final 16, and they felt they could have done a lot better than that.
Absolutely. Lyndon Jones, a penetration. Chucky White, good ball movement by the Hoosiers right now.
Good ball movement, good patience defensively also by the Hawkeyes. They got players out getting in passing lanes.
Lyndon Jones and B.J. Armstrong apparently did not have position according to Ron Winter, and Armstrong picks up his first personal. That's the 5th on the team. Iowa leading by 5, 8:49 to go, first half of play. Indiana, I don't think there's any question, Quinn, that to win the Big Ten, they have got to be given the #1 seed in the Midwest tournament.
You know, I've heard the argument that Illinois should get it because they've beaten Indiana twice, but given that this conference has been considered the top conference in the country and Indiana won it, I don't know how you can give it to anybody but Indiana.
That's right. Cree Smith. I think Bob Knight believes that, Quinn. Otherwise, we would have seen his start lineup at the outset of the game. Going backdoor to Chucky White. Nice feed from Meeks. White just couldn't quite bring it down. Here's Brian Garner. Ball tipped out of bounds, and it'll belong to Indiana.
Well, that's a good call by the official. The ball got hit by Matt Bullard. Brian Garner was trying to throw it out to Raymond Thompson, and Brian Garner hadn't played a lot with Raymond Thompson. You see right here, Garner going to his left. He'll throw the bat, and you'll see coming your screen is Matt Bullard, and it goes right off his hand.
Portions of today's game brought to you by Ameritech. Ameritech, solutions that work. Indiana basketball. Hawkeyes in the pressure defense. Meeks plays it ahead nicely to Robinson.
Good pass by Jamal Meeks to get the ball past the defense. And then up to Mark Robinson for the jump shot.
Marble penetrates. Rebound claimed by Cree Smith. Meeks had it tipped away and knocked out of bounds by the quick hands of Roy Marble. It'll belong to Indiana. Crowd doesn't like the call, but Gary Muncie was right on it.
You know, Iowa's had a tough time. They've gotten players push the ball up the court, miss some shots, and they haven't made good transition back to defense the last couple times. That particular time, what happened was Roy Marble got his hands on the ball, but if he doesn't, Indiana ends up with a 4-on-2 fast break.
Lyndon Jones out of the point now. Jones with the dish to Robinson. Rebound up for grabs. Got a foul. Score it for Robinson, and the foul is on Marble. And the look on Marble's face, he can't believe it.
Well, that's partly what I was talking about. Indiana, Iowa hadn't gotten back on defense. You see Lyndon Jones do a good job getting the ball to Mark Robinson, who misses an easy basket. But in going after the ball, Brian Sloan knocks it loose. Robinson comes up with it, goes back. The official get all the foul. Basket went in. He got a three-point play.
9 points now for Mark Robinson, a junior from Ventura, California. Indiana has caught Iowa with 7:54 to go in the half.
People have always told me I should travel more. My fourth grade teacher, Mrs. Crowley.
Go to the principal's office, McLean.
My high school football coach.
Take 2 laps, Stevenson.
Lori, my college sweetheart.
Get lost, McLean. Don't.
Oh, well. Now Piedmont Airlines has going places prices. Really low fares to over 170 cities. Call Piedmont or your travel agent now. I think I'll visit Mrs. Crowley.
I thought I told you to go to the principal's office.
How will you live in the next century? Suddenly, life will be more comfortable, smoother, and quicker. Introducing the new 1989 Buick Century with premium features you expect from the best-selling Buick on the American road. All at a price that will let you enter the next century very comfortably.
The great American road belongs to Buick.
Stay tuned to the end of the game when Quinn and I'll announce a Budweiser player of the game. Right now, Mark Robinson of Indiana, leading candidate for that honor. There he is, number 10 in red. Has 9 points thus far. Remember, the Budweiser player of the game at the end of our telecast this afternoon. There's the general.
The general and his man.
7:45 to go first half. Hawkeyes of Iowa, the white uniforms on the attack.
Well, I'm sure out of the timeout, one thing that Tom Davis told his club is, guys, we better come to play because Indiana's beating us to loose balls, getting offensive rebounds. Those are the kind of things that'll get us beat.
Marble looking inside for B.J. Armstrong. There's Moses out front. Jepson, as I mentioned, he's a passer. That's his role on out front like that. 7 to go on the shot clock. Ed Horton trying to chase down. Off the turnover, Indiana gets it back. Boy, the Hawks looked out of sync on that particular sequence. Tom Davis just shaking his head.
Well, you know, the Hawkeyes do look out of sync, but that was good defensive pressure by the Hoosiers.
Sure
and it's tough to have Les Jepson out there trying to make a play.
Lyndon Jones misses on the drive. Rebound garnered by Marble. Here comes Armstrong. Marble out high.
But that's where that Iowa needs to go with the ball. That Brian Sloan can't guard Ed Horton down there, and Iowa gets the ball in that position, then it makes it tough on the Hoosiers because they have to help out from everywhere.
Meeks. Cree Smith resets the offense.
Smart play by Cree Smith. Indiana didn't have anybody under the basket to rebound. Cree Smith didn't feel he could make the shot. Wisely brought it back out to set up the offense.
From the outside, Smith for 3.
See, that's a much different shot, Wayne. That time, Cree Smith had a chance to set his feet and look at the basket with people moved around defensively. And that's why, you know, in my opinion, that was a good shot as opposed to the one he was about to take up early in the break.
Moses down low, feeds Jepson. No. Traveling on Les Jepson.
He got surprised by the pass.
He came to a skidding halt as he went for the shot.
Well, I thought that James Moses was going to take the shot, and I think Les Jepson thought so too. And when he didn't take the shot, you can see right away he just traveled with the ball.
Jepson defending on the inbounds. Boy, they always have someone, either Bullard or Jepson, with those long arms defending on that inbounds. Now here comes Bullard replacing Jepson.
Well, you see Jepson going out of the game, and what we had there a moment ago is what you'll see. This is what the press looks like. First of all, you can see how difficult it is to get around somebody like Les Jepson or Matt Bullard. You see the ball come up court here with Jamal Meeks, but now they have Meeks and Jones in, and that makes for a good ball handling team out there.
Brian Sloan. There's Jamal Meeks. Under 6 minutes to go, first half. Indiana leading by a point. Lyndon Jones, started by Garner. Tree Smith again from the outside. Horton is there. Iowa basketball. Hawkeyes down by a point. Moses feeding Horton on the block over Sloan. We're going to see a lot of that between now and the end of the game.
Again, that's what I said. That's just a mismatch. First of all, Brian Sloan can't afford to be behind Ed Horton, but Ed Horton's such a big, strong player that Brian Sloan just can't get around him, and Indiana has to do a better job of pressuring the ball so it doesn't get in there.
Tree Smith on the perimeter. Coming up on 5 minutes left to go. First half of play. Good ball movement. Robinson came up short. Sloan knocked it out of bounds, and it belonged to Iowa. Chucky White coming in for Coach Bob Knight's Hoosiers. Roy Marble and Ray Thompson back on for Iowa.
Sorry, Wayne. Bob Knight is telling Mark Robertson to shoot the ball. On the follow-through, the only thing Mark Robertson did was just kind of push it to the basket. There's no way it would go in. I thought it was a good effort by Brian Sloan, but he didn't get it that time, but it was a good effort.
Horton's pass intended for Armstrong, who didn't expect it. And Armstrong lets it roll out of bounds. It'll belong to Indiana.
Well, I'm looking over at Tom Davis, and you see a concerned look on his face because he sees that his team is out of sync. You got your seniors out throwing the ball away. That's contagious when anybody does it, but it's really a bad sign when you see that your seniors are not mentally into the game.
This team will rise and fall on the play of its seniors, and it's been that way all year. Oh, what a nifty feed to Robinson, who has 11.
Well, that's a play they tried last time with Chucky White, and you see the steal there by Lyndon Jones. That time it worked for Mark Robinson.
Lyndon Jones. Jamal Meeks. Indiana leading by a point. Coming up on 4 minutes left to go, first half of play. Got some contact away from the ball, Jamal Meeks. Guilty of an illegal pick, I believe.
Yeah, he was called for an illegal pick.
Second on Meeks. That is 17 fouls now in Indiana. Take a look at this play.
You see right here, Jamal Meeks is able to make this pass because there's no pressure. He throws it up there, and you'll see Mark Robertson go way up to catch it for the dunk. The play is made primarily anytime you get two players to make eye contact and can jump like Mark Robertson. But if you don't put pressure on the pass, that play can be made all day. So Iowa has to get out, put some pressure on Jamal Meeks so he's not allowed to throw the pass up to Mark Robertson or anybody else for the Indiana team.
Ed Horton, 17 games of double points and double-digit rebounds. 4 minutes left to go, first half of play. Indiana leading by 1. Robinson can't handle the pass. 7 turnovers for Indiana. Iowa has 9 turnovers in the first half. Got a timeout on the floor with 3:54 left to go. First half of play. We'll return to Iowa City after these words from your local stations.
I get paid to fly on TWA. I'm part of the quality control team. I report directly to the chairman on what's good and what needs improving. When he's happy, you're happy.
Today's TWA. Find out how good we really are. TWA kept something in mind when we made our business class seat one of the widest in the sky. People sometimes cross their legs. Today's TWA. Find out how good we really are.
Get daily or extended wear soft contact lenses for $39.98, or 2 pairs of soft contacts in 2 different colors for $99.98 at Dr. Tavel's Premium Optical.
Quiz time. Who makes true high-performance radials? General. Where can you get them? Your local Shy Tire Centers. Just get on your Generals and go.
Watch the excitement of the IHSAA Hinkle Regional Championship game at 8, followed by Purdue against Northwestern at 10, tonight on WTTV Channel 4.
Ground transportation arranged through Hertz, whether for a day in the country or a trip on the town. Think Hertz for the weekend. Hertz, your rental car for a quick getaway. Wayne Larrabee and Quinn Buckner were in Iowa City. Indiana leading by a point, but, you know, Quinn, you were mentioning something during the break, and I think it's very valid. The Iowa Hawkeyes prepared for this game, prepared to play at least the starting lineup that won the Big Ten regular season championship. When they showed up here this morning, they found out that Indiana wasn't going to start any of their starters here. And is that a source of a letdown maybe a little bit? Does that take a little bit of an edge off you as a player?
Yeah, psychologically, it's tough to make the adjustment if you're planning to play against what is the conference champion and you don't see that team intact. So I think that's a little bit of what I was falling into. It's human nature, but it's something that they must overcome to be successful in this game. And I think Indiana has to be credited because those players have come out and played well. Matt Bullock makes that three-point shot, which may get Iowa going, but I think the Hoosiers have played well.
They give him 2 on the shot. He had a foot on the three-point line. Hoosiers break the pressure well. Bree Smith, the crowd thought a traveling violation should have been called there. Chucky White. Lyndon Jones goes to work on Marble.
Anytime you allow people to penetrate to the basket like Lyndon Jones does, it causes you problems. That time he was allowed to get to the baseline and get an easy basket.
Foul coming up right here. On the drive by B.J. Armstrong. Chucky White reaching in. His second personal. Bob Knight doing a lot of teaching today.
Well, I think
pulled several players over and instructed them individually on different things that they've been doing.
Wayne, this is a good opportunity to teach here. This is a game, as I said, for the standings. You see the field goal percentage there, 36 for Indiana and 38 for Iowa. Neither one of the teams is shooting very well. But this is a chance to teach. The game in the standings nor the seeding matters that much. And you got players that you may have to use during the course of the NCAA tournament. You need them to get to understand some fundamentals about basketball that they should have gotten early in the season. But if they did, they don't make the mistakes now. Obviously, Coach Knight feels that there's some need to straighten that out.
Ed Horton back on, replacing Wade Lookingbill. And again, the importance of this game for Iowa, and intangible, and in that they want to break the losing streak before the big show. And they also believe that a win here, regardless of the team Indiana put on the floor this afternoon, will help them in the seedings. It would give them a 22-9 record should Iowa win here today. And they had, I believe, the 5th seed in one of the regionals last year with a record similar to that. Brian Sloan up high. There's Lyndon Jones. We're tied at 26. Final 3 minutes of play, first half. Coming up, we'll take a look at the all Big Ten team, first and second team. That'll be at halftime. Bree Smith on the drive. Blake Bullard got a piece of it, and Horton pries loose the rebound to B.J. Armstrong. Good dish to Marble.
Great dish from B.J. Armstrong. That's the kind of thing that Iowa wants to do, is to get the tempo up. You see him now come out and put a little more pressure out at the half-court line.
Bree Smith, the feed to Robinson, swatted away by Bullard from behind, chased down by White. Indiana remains on the attack. Final 2 minutes of play. Time left of the first half, right-hand corner of your screen. Whistle away from the ball. Got a foul coming up on Ray Thompson, I believe. Ron Witter with the call. I was following the ball. I honestly did not see it. Thompson hit with the foul. His first. That is the 6th on Iowa in this first half of play. No, make it team foul number 7.
Yeah, that's there in the penalty for sure right now. But what happened there is I've been waiting on the fans to get into the game. And that time, Raymond Thompson unfortunately fouled. But it was the first time the fans have gotten to the game, because I thought Indiana's main concern would have been whether or not they were able to withstand Iowa's good start. And they didn't really get off to a good start, nor did the fans get into the game early.
Armstrong, Ray Thompson for 3. Rebound taken out by Bree Smith of Indiana. 1.5 minutes to go. Smith to Lyndon Jones in rather unconventional fashion.
That was well done. I was going to just say it was weird.
Bree Smith. Thompson, the rebound for Iowa. Hawkeyes leading by 2. The lead for Armstrong. Indiana trailing by 4. Coming up on the final minute. First half. Here's the crowd.
Yeah, this will really help Iowa right now if they can have a good defensive possession right here, not allow Indiana to get a basket. They can get some momentum going in at the end of the half.
10 to go on the shot clock. Lyndon Jones had to adjust the shot. Chased down by Thompson to Marble to Armstrong to Marble.
Marble just got called for a technical foul after the shot. He made the dunk, and he did hold on to the rim. And the official felt warranted a technical foul.
That call also gets the crowd into the game a little bit more. Watch it again.
Great ball movement by the Hawkeyes. They push it around. B.J. Armstrong gets it back as you get it from Ray Thompson here to Roy Marble. Now watching, he holds on to the rim. Now you're allowed to do that if you think you're in danger. It doesn't appear right here as though he's in danger. Oh, he hits Lyndon Jones in the head. That may have been why he held on to the rim. The official didn't see that. Call a technical foul.
Iowa on a 9-2 run here in the final 3 minutes of play, first half. Lyndon Jones at the line shooting the technical. Indiana has made just 3 out of 6 from the free throw line here in the first half. 22 seconds to go. Sloan gets it away to Cree Smith. James Moses plays him tight. No shot clock here.
Ball is going to need to get in the hands of either Lyndon Jones.
Time winding down. Cree Smith from the outside. As time expires in the first half, a strong finish, a 9-2 run by the Hawkeyes, and they head off at halftime, leading by 6. Today's game is being brought to you by Pontiac. We build excitement. By Mr. Goodwrench. No one knows your GM car better than Mr. Goodwrench. No one. And by the owners of Days Inns, Hotels, and Suites in the Big Ten. We'll return after these messages from your local stations.
Pop's on a salt-free diet. Me, gotta keep my girlish figure.
Looks good to me.
Marcia's made it so easy to shop for our special diets by offering NutriGuide. It gives us a list of the foods we can eat and marks them with color-coded shelf tags. Pop and I just look for the pink, yellow, or green colors. We love to shop at Marsh. Saves us time for a twirl around the block.
Hang on, Ma!
You value your health and your time. At Marsh, we value you.
Boston's Old North Church. That signaled Paul Revere's ride. The beauty of this great American interior has been maintained for over 14 years with Sears Easy Living paint. Today, repainting has created a small dilemma, choosing from 900 of the best covering decorator colors it's ever come in. Sears Easy Living paint, preferred by more homeowners for great American homes like yours.
I'll be right back, son.
Anyway, this command you ordered is really tough on wheat. I think you made a good choice. Got your order.
So it gets both grasses and velvet leaf?
Yeah. Well, I also think you'll find that this is one herbicide that really...
Richard, let's make a deal. You loan me your new Cutlass Supreme and I'll fill her up. Dad, Olds gave me a year's supply of Amoco gasoline. Marilyn, $50 to use your new Tornado.
I got $1,500 back from Olds.
Sharon, need help financing your Cutlass Calais?
I got 4.9 financing. Sorry.
This is not your father's Oldsmobile.
Hey, kid.
Let's make a deal. Let's make a deal. Let's make a deal on a new generation Oldsmobile.
私の言ってることがわからないのはあなただけじゃないですよ。日本で企業に勤めているアメリカ人のほとんどもわからないのです。実のところ、アメリカ政府の外交官の多くが外国語が話せないのです。それなのに、在米外交官のほとんどは英語を流暢に話しています。It's getting tough for America. And one of the most important universities in America just got tougher. Indiana University. We're all for you.
first law degrees in the U.S., earned by a woman and a black. The first black to earn a Ph.D. in music. Iowa, building a legacy of cultural diversity and academic excellence. Interdependent pursuits, then and now. The University of Iowa, lighting a path to the future from the heartland of America.
Halftime here in Iowa City. The Hawkeyes put some things together down the stretch, a 9-2 run, and they have the lead over the Indiana Hoosiers. And for those of you who are joining in late, Bob Knight sat down his starting lineup. He's resting some people, and Quinn Buckner was an interesting first half from the standpoint of a lot of emotion, obviously, for the Iowa Hawkeyes being Seniors Day here. But I think you brought up a good point, and that is that there might have been a letdown on the part of the Iowa players in the first half when they realized they weren't playing the team, at least not the starting lineup, that won the Big Ten championship.
Well, there seriously was a letdown, I thought, by the Hawkeyes, and one they cannot afford to have going into the NCAA tournament. You have to take whatever team gets on the basketball court. I didn't think Iowa did that in the first half, and I thought they did it the last minute and a half of the first half. And if they play like they did then, Wayne, I think then their chances are pretty good. But I do think you have to credit the play of the Hoosiers. I thought they got out in the game. They handled the press, even though they had trouble getting it in. Once they got it over a half court, they did a good job being patient, taking the shots they were getting, and that's why they were as successful as they were in the first half.
You know, people here in Iowa City will tell you that they'll only go as far as their seniors will take them on this squad. They have some great young talent. There are going to be some great people in this program in future years. Ray Thompson, one that comes to mind right away. James Moses will eventually develop into quite a player. But right now, this is a team that's basically dominated by their three great seniors. And I think there was some emotion there. I mean, their parents are here. This is their final home game for Iowa. That certainly played a role in that first half.
Yeah, that emotion can work two ways, Wayne. You can get too hyped for a game, or sometimes you don't get as involved because you want to relax. I think it was a little more of the fact they got too hyped for the game. They have to come out, just play the kind of game that the Hawkeyes know they can play in order to be successful.
And I would expect a very intense second half from Iowa, I would think.
I'm sure Tom Davis made the point, guys, we got to get it going here in the second half because we need to have a good goal of this thing going into the NCAA tournament.
We'll take a look at the 10 best players in the Big Ten Conference coming up when we continue halftime from Iowa City.
Oh, Harold, it's lovely.
I hope you like it.
It reminds me of when we first got electric light back when I was a child.
Oh.
Daddy used to draw his chair up to that light and read to us. Oh, and memories. But, Harold, this is the 80s.
And I wanted a Bud Light.
If you want the one light that outshines them all, ask for Bud Light.
Kill the light, will you, Harold?
Oh, because everything else is just a light.
You're looking sharp. You're looking good. You've come so far. And we know how to make the most of who you are. Father to son. It's what we've always done. Gillette.
The Gillette Atra Plus system with the Lubra Smooth Strip for the best a man can get.
If you're planning a vacation this winter, US Air has some good news and some bad news. The good news is US Air has low fares on lots of departures to sunny Florida, Arizona, and California. The bad news is our low fares are round trip.
There's no reason for you to jump through hoops when you're looking for a great room at a great price. Just look for a Days Inn, hotel, or suite. Our 130 owners right here in the Big Ten are not only bringing you this conference broadcast, but they're bringing you a great room at a great price, with restaurants, lounges, even meeting rooms. So if you're looking for a great room at a great price, choose a Days Inn. Staying anywhere else is a foul.
The Big Ten Conference since 1895 has been the nation's leader in academics and athletics. Women's athletics were incorporated into the conference in 1981, and today championships are sponsored in 10 sports. In volleyball, cross country, basketball, gymnastics, swimming and diving, tennis, softball, golf, and indoor and outdoor track and field. Big Ten universities were among the first to open their doors to women and minority students, and the same openness that was attractive more than 100 years ago remains evident today in the fields of research, medicine, education, engineering, agriculture, and the arts. Big Ten students benefit from a concerned faculty dedicated to excellence and committed to the development of mind as well as body. When an athlete graduates from a Big Ten university, she doesn't leave with just a diploma. She graduates to the world.
The Big Ten Conference was 98-21 against non-conference opponents in 1988-89, one of the best percentages ever accomplished by the Big Ten. The talent from top to bottom, the teams from top to bottom of the conference, arguably the best balance ever in the league. Let's take a look at the cream of the crop. The 1989 Big Ten Dream Team features the talents of Illinois junior forward Nick Anderson. The Chicago native averaged 18.1 points per game, 7.5 rebounds. His three-point buzzer bomb at Bloomington beat the Hoosiers last Sunday. Highly regarded out of high school, Anderson has lived up to his billing at Illinois. Michigan's explosive senior forward Glenn Rice led the Big Ten in scoring at 25 points per game. He shot a cool 58% from the field, 56% from three-point range. As pure a scorer as there is in college basketball, Glenn Rice continuing a great tradition of frontline players at Michigan. Iowa's rugged frontline performer Ed Horton has been a pillar of strength all season for the 21-9 Hawkeyes. Horton, a senior from Springfield, Illinois, leads the Big Ten in rebounding at about 11 boards per game. He has 17 games of double figures points and rebounds. Ohio State senior guard Jade Burson was felled by a neck injury late this season, but his accomplishments before the injury earned him first-team honors. Few players displayed Jay's incredible ability to pull a game out in the clutch. Burson was among the conference leaders in points and assists before the injury. And the Big Ten Player of the Year is Indiana sophomore guard Jay Edwards, second of the Big Ten in scoring at 22.9 points per game. Indiana has won 6 conference games by 4 points or less. Edwards has been the key factor down the stretch. His game-winning shots have taken down Purdue and Michigan. On the second team, Iowa senior B.J. Armstrong, Minnesota's junior Willie Burton, Danny Jones and Trent Jackson from Wisconsin, and Kenny Battle of Illinois. Congratulations to these standout performers for their accomplishments in this Big Ten season. We'll be back after these words from your local stations. This is the Big Ten Television Network.
At Hardee's, we don't use just any old fish for our fish sandwich. No, 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 no. To win you over, we go to the icy depths of the North Atlantic for whole fillets of moist, flaky fish on a multi-grain bun. All because we never forget you can always go someplace else. Next time you're in the neighborhood... why not drop in? Now get a fisherman's fillet sandwich and large fries for only $1.99 at Hardee's.
The new 89 Cadillac Sedan DeVille. And the Lincoln Continental. DeVille is over 9 inches longer this year. The Continental isn't. While DeVille has added more interior room, the Continental hasn't. And with DeVille's fuel-injected V8 engine, you can see the V6 Continental for what it really is. The 1989 Sedan DeVille. Test drive one at your Cadillac dealer. The organizers of a recent national sports event had a slight coordination problem. How to link 34 events in 6 different cities. So GTE designed and maintained a network that not only connected people to information, but made it possible for the competition to begin. You see, at GTE, it's not just communications we offer, it's solutions. Call us. We're ready.
WR Air Services began by personally handling your critical air freight shipments. Then we expanded into trucking by offering guaranteed overnight LTL service in the Midwest. Now, with the completion of our public warehouse, WR Air Services is able to meet your storage requirements, whether it is a few cartons to free up that necessary office space or a major distribution program. So throw a call my way. A call, a phone call.
Here's how the first half numbers compare, brought to you by U.S. Air. Quinn?
You see both teams really didn't do a very good job from a percentage standpoint. 32% for Indiana, 45% for Iowa. free throws. Both teams 3 for 7. They'll do better than that, I'm sure, in the second half. 3-point scoring, 1 for 2 for Indiana, 1 for 6. Rebounds is pretty close. Turnovers are pretty close also. You know.
Individual scoring, you get a look at Robinson, 5 of 10 from the field, 11 points. He also had 6 rebounds to lead the way for the Indiana Hoosiers. White and Smith also played well in the first half of play at times. Smith, though, was just 2 of 10 from the field. There's the Iowa scoring. Horton, 4 of 7, 9 points and 5 boards. Armstrong, 3 of 7 from the field, 8 points. Let's take a look around the country on the Budweiser scoreboard. All tournament action here. Tennessee leading Florida 32-28. Maryland, Coach Bob Wade is still in the hospital. He had follow-up procedure yesterday. Cardiac catheterization. They discovered no heart disease. They just wanted to make sure he'll be all right, but he's not with his team today. They pulled the big upset yesterday over North Carolina State of the ACC. Syracuse over Seton Hall by 1 of the first half, and Memphis State Louisville early. Iowa State, Oklahoma in the Big 8 tournament coming up. Oklahoma had to go double overtime yesterday to beat Colorado. There's Coach Hayden Fry of the Iowa Hawkeye football program. We'll return Iowa City coming up after these words.
America's body shops are being flooded with imitation parts. Doors, hoods, fenders. So how do you protect yourself? Ask to see your repair order before insurance work begins. Make sure it specifies genuine GM parts. Parts designed to meet GM standards for fit, finish, and corrosion protection. Now, even if insurance is paying the bill, it's still your car, and it's still your choice. Insist on genuine General Motors parts.
When the University of Illinois needed a voice and data system to take them into the next century, they needed innovative answers. They chose Ameritech, the information company able to link several campuses in several cities, always adapting the latest technology, always anticipating the university's needs. Because when you find a communication system that progressive, the rest is, well, academic. Ameritech, solutions that work.
Hey, we talk about playground legends. You gotta bring up a guy named Lamar Mundane. I seen him just rain jump shots on people. 4, 5, 6 shots in a row. People just started calling him Money. Because when he shot, it was money in the bank. He'd come down and shoot a 15-footer. Everybody on the side be hollering, layup. Slam dunks are tough. But when a 35-footer come raining out the sky, it'll wire you up.
When the new legends are made, they'll be wearing Reeboks.
Today's Big Ten game is being brought to you by Ameritech. Ameritech, solutions that work. By Gillette and the Gillette Atra Plus shaving system. Gillette, the best a man can get. And by Ford and your local Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? Now it's time for the keys to the game, brought to you by Ford. Quinn?
Well, Indiana really needed to rebound. They got 20 rebounds in the first half. That's pretty good. That gives them on a 40 rebound game. So far they're doing well there. They've taken advantage of the press. They've gotten 8 points off of it. And what that really does is make Iowa cognizant of the fact that Indiana will beat them on the press. Iowa, on the other hand, needs to maintain the intensity they have in the first half. I didn't think they did that early in the game. They were able to get the tempo up in the latter part of the first half. And with those combinations, I think they got a good chance to be successful. But without them, they will struggle this afternoon.
There's the general, Coach Bob Knight, and his Hoosier team.
Well, I think for the half that Bob Knight has to be pleased with the way his team played. I mean, they only had, about 5 turnovers as we had. So all in all, I would say that he's pretty pleased. He wants the guys to come out, keep on playing as hard as they did, and just try to, maintain their level of intensity. Iowa, on the other hand, has to say, guys, look, we're going into the tournament. We struggled so far in this game and the 3 previous games. We got to crank it up and get it going here because you don't want to go into the NCAA tournament off a loss on a team that on paper you should beat because your confidence suffers from that.
The Iowa Hawkeyes 21-9, 9-8 in conference play. Indiana back on the floor. Cree Smith, Lyndon Jones, Jamal Meeks, Brian Sloan, and Mark Robinson begin the second half for Indiana. Matt Fullard, Ray Thompson, Marble, Armstrong, and Horton get the call for the Hawkeyes. Iowa leading by 6. Final 20 minutes of the Big Ten season.
Well, Wayne, I expect the fans to get into this game early, so Indiana has to be concerned about patience, taking good shots here on the offensive end, defensively trying to force some turnovers.
Took the fans a while to get into that first half of play. It really did. Indiana did a good job of keeping the crowd quiet.
Well, they didn't really get into fans and get into the game until there was a dunk, and then they felt like it was something to cheer about.
Robinson on the miss, and it's knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Iowa. It'll belong to Indiana. Sam Licklider right there on the baseline with the call. Crowd thought it was last touch by Robinson.
Now, I'd say the crowd was wrong, and I'll tell you why. You could see the intensity when Sam made the call. He knew he was right and made sure everybody else understood. I know what the call is. Go ahead and boo if you'd like. Now, Iowa on the inbounds play goes into a 2-3 zone, and that's exactly what you do against a zone. You try to penetrate, get the defense to collapse. If they don't, you get little jump shots like that. Iowa has to do a better job of keeping the ball out of the middle of the zone.
Lyndon Jones with the first 2 points of the second half. Here are the Hawkeyes. Hawks work the basketball. Good ball movement at the moment. Ray Thompson. Horton inside to Marble, and he draws the foul. So Roy Marble will be heading to the free throw line. Marble in that first half of play, just 6 points.
Well, Roy did a good job, I thought, in that time getting position inside. And once you get position like that on anybody, it's a tough thing to be able to defend against. You see right here, you'll see at the top of your screen, Roy Marble has position. Cree Smith knows he's beat. Roy gives a good head fake. And then right there, Cree Smith wisely fouls to make sure that Roy Marble doesn't get the 3-point opportunity.
First personal foul on Cree Smith and Roy Marble at the free throw line. Opening minute of play, second half. Marble, the school's all-time leading scorer, was honorable mention all Big Ten. I thought that thing had bounded out. I looked down at my scorebook, and all of a sudden it's going through the net.
Well, I tell you, Wayne, I can recall playing in games, and when you see the ball to start doing that, you know things are starting to go your way, because I agree. I looked down, and it went out, and it got back in the hoop.
Rebound Robinson, 1 out of 2 at the line for Marble. Indiana trails by 5. Here's the steal by Ray Thompson off the pass. Marble to Thompson.
Well, the defensive pressure of Iowa upset the Hoosiers that time. Iowa went to a 3-quarter court press instead of a full court press, and the Hoosiers didn't handle it very well that time. Iowa got a basket.
Jamal Meeks secures it over to Lyndon Jones.
The other reason that surprised Indiana was because Iowa doesn't normally go into a press after a missed shot. That time there was a missed foul shot. Iowa went back to 3-quarter court and was able to get into it.
Lyndon Jones, and he crawls the rim. Jones has all 4 Indiana second half points, 6 in the game. Hawkeyes by 5. There's Ed Horton down inside the lane, and Horton has 11. Thompson breaks it up to Armstrong. Thompson on the tip. Chased down by Marble. Thompson in traffic. Hawkeyes getting on a run here. Lyndon Jones. 9-point lead for Iowa, largest lead of the afternoon for either team.
Hawkeye is able to get a couple of extra opportunities that time on the offensive rebound and cause the Hoosiers all kind of problems.
Cree Smith. 7 points for Smith. Here's the lead. Marble.
Great pass by B.J. Armstrong just over the outstretched arms of the Hoosiers. Roy Marble got to the basket that time. Hoosiers must do a better job getting back defensively in transition.
Opening 3 minutes of play. Going backdoor. It's headed for Robinson. Broken up. Here comes Ed Horton on the break. The feed to Thompson, and had to save it. But saved to the wrong side. And the Hoosiers now try to slow down the tempo. This is not what they want to do. They don't want to get out and run with Iowa.
There's no way that Indiana can run. As you can see, the turnovers there. Indiana has 3 with the first 3 minutes gone here in the second half. And that happens because the tempo is the way that Iowa wants it. They need the up-tempo. That's the way they play best. And when they get it going, you see the kind of problems this causes the Hoosiers.
9-point lead for the Iowa Hawkeyes. 3.5 minutes gone by now. Bree Smith off the pick by Sloan. Rebound knocked out of bounds, last touch by the Hawkeyes. Bob Knight patrolling the Indiana sideline. There's Tom Davis and company. Jamal Meeks tossing in on the inbounds. Look at those arms, Les Jepson, like a 747 wingspan.
That's a sight to see Jamal Meeks trying to throw the ball in over Les Jepson.
Isn't that something?
A 6-footer trying to throw it over a guy 7'1", and you see that Indiana wisely makes a decision to get Jamal Meeks out where he can handle the ball.
Chucky White on the inbounds, and Meeks has the inbound pass. Jay Edwards, Todd Jadlow will not play here today. They're not in uniform. Eric Anderson, Joe Hillman are in uniform, but they apparently are not going to play here today. Meeks on the drive.
Right away, that looked like the parting of the waves. That's a zone defense, and Jamal Meeks just drive right through it.
Marble feeding inside to Horton. Good hand, scored and a foul.
Again, you see example of what penetration will do to a defense. It breaks it down. It means there has to be some help out right there. Jamal Meeks didn't get there in time. You see right here, you'll see the penetration by Roy Marble. And watch as he goes to the basket. Chucky White comes over to help out. Ed Horton wisely goes to the basket. You see the foul right there on the arm by Jamal Meeks. But that's what penetration to the basket will do to the defense. Break it down.
3-point play by Ed Horton. He has 14 in the game, and with 15:59 left to go, Iowa's lead is its largest 10 points. We'll return after these messages from your local stations.
You know, there are a lot of places where you can look for an auto part. But here is where you'll find it. Napa. We've got your part. In fact, we have more than 125,000 parts available. Napa has parts for imports and other hard-to-find parts, and at the right prices. So don't waste time looking anyplace else. Come to Napa first. We've got your part.
It's a gamble. Each spring they wonder what the weather and what the price of things will bring. But it's the only work most farmers know, and there isn't anything else they'd rather do. There have been better times than now. A few have been worse. But self-reliance makes you a survivor. The next time you sit down to a meal, remember the hard-working folks that put food on our tables. Your local Chevy dealers salute farmers.
To the heartbeat of America.
Step Ahead Banking. It's a package of financial services, all for just $5 a month. A checking account, a Visa card, 24-hour money mover tellers, bank by phone service, even your own financial advisor. Step ahead at Indiana National.
On a 21-10 run since the 4.5-minute mark of the first half. They have a 10-point lead. The ever-present backcourt pressure. Indiana basketball. 15:59 to go in the game. Sloan clears it over to Lyndon Jones, guarded by Garner. Robinson squares up, leaves it short. Sloan was fouled by Lookingbill, I believe. Wade Lookingbill, second personal. Not only the first team foul on Iowa here in the second half.
Well, that was a good effort by Lookingbill, but more importantly, there's a shot that was taken here by Mark Robertson, and I think a bad shot. And you see Brian Sloan is able to still get to the basketball, turns around, goes for the shot, and goes for the shot.
I didn't see a whole lot of contact there.
And he goes for the shot, ladies and gentlemen. And from there, it looked like it was a good block.
Brian Sloan gets a pair at the line. He has 3 points, all of which have come at the free throw line. He and Anderson are the two guys that are probably the most efficient at setting screens and picks in this Indiana offense.
You know, what's really good is Brian has accepted the role. You know, you're talking about a kid who was a great high school player, accepted
Great scorer in high school, wasn't he?
Yes, to come here and be a part of the Indiana program, and he wants to just be a part of it. And his role is to set picks, get people open, and make good passes, rebound. And he's accepted that role, and I think that's to his credit.
His father, a great player in the NBA with the Chicago Bulls, played at Evansville, I believe, Jerry Sloan.
Boy, he played very well at Evansville, too.
Chucky White trying to make it good, cannot. Jepson had it poked away by Robinson, and here's White, and he got it. 7 points for Chucky White.
Well, Indiana got lucky on that one because it was an air ball by Lyndon Jones, who said he got fouled, but Chucky White came up, missed the easy shot, still able to get the ball back in after a good hand by Mark Robinson.
6-point lead for the Hawkeyes. 5 minutes gone by, second half. 20 to go now on the shot clock. Plenty of time. Marble. Horton on the tip. 16 for Ed Horton. Marble tipped it out of bounds.
You know, it's got to be frustrating for Bob Knight to sit on his bench. A team plays great defense. That gets Iowa to take the type of shot you want Iowa to take. Gets a chance for a rebound, no block out. Ed Horton gets in there, gets good position, gets the rebound basket. That's something that just, you know, just frustrates a coach.
Jamal Meeks. Chucky White. Indiana on the attack, trailing by 8 points now. 14 and a half to go. Meeks to White, had to adjust it over Bullard. Chased down by Meeks. Hoosiers controlling the tempo now. Last couple of possessions.
Yeah, doing a good job being patient. See, without their other two scores, you see right there, Lyndon Jones take the ball and try to get to the basket. Mark Robinson did go out of bounds. Indiana struggles to get offense. They don't have their scorers in there per se. Joe Hillman, Jay Edwards, Todd Jadlow. Those are the players they typically go to get points, as you see Bob Knight's record at Indiana. But without those guys in there, Indiana must be much more patient. And these guys on the Hoosiers team just have to take the shots that they can make, not the shots they've seen Edwards and Jadlow make.
Final 14 minutes of play. Backdoor to Bullard. Nice fade from Horton. Iowa back on top by 10. They led by 6 at the half. Meeks. Horton on the weak side of the rebound. This is B.J. Armstrong. Thompson, offensive foul. Ray Thompson, second personal. That's the second on the team.
Well, Ray Thompson got a good pass from B.J. Armstrong. He just tried to go through Brian Sloan. That was good position, good call by the official.
Inbounds, Bullard knocked it away. Iowa's been very aggressive on that full court pressure. It's been effective here.
Well, more so in the second half than in the first half. The last 2 minutes of the first half, it was effective because the level of intensity was there. The guys were able to balance the emotion of it being the last game and then play like they should have played for the Hawkeyes.
A long inbounds pass off the mark. Horton chasing down. Garner over to Ray Thompson. The rebound pried loose by Lyndon Jones in among the trees. Horton and Bullard. That's not an over and back violation. You have to have the ball and both feet over the line. 7 minutes into the second half. Lyndon Jones manufactures a shot that falls, and he's fouled by Garner.
Well, that was a tough shot by Lyndon Jones. He was able to take the ball into the basket. He went up, took his position. Brian Garner tried to get there. You see right here, Lyndon Jones goes right to the basket, goes up. The officials call the contact. Lyndon Jones able to get it in for a three-point play.
Lyndon Jones, 6 second half points. 8 points overall in the game. 9 points for Lyndon Jones. Indiana hanging in there. Gardner on the drive down the lane. Blocking foul coming up. I believe Sam Licklider. Not going to guess who he has.
I'll say Jamal Meeks is who it was
looked
on.
like Meeks, yeah. I thought for a minute he was motioning toward Cree Smith, but Meeks picks up the foul, his 4th. Team fouls are even now, 3 apiece, and Garner at the free throw line.
No, we watched Brian Garner play last week against Michigan, and I thought in light of the circumstances, he played pretty well. One of the things he's going to have to do to be the kind of player that the Hawkeyes want from him is start looking at the basket a little bit more from the jump shooting perspective. He can take it to the basket strong, but what he does not do right now well is shoot just stand still jump shots, and he'll need to do that with the players that Iowa will have next year.
I think he'll invest some time this summer in that. I know Roy Marble's improved as a shooter because of the time he's this summer working on his game. But that you're exactly right, and I think Brian Garner will develop that as he goes along in his Iowa career. Certainly has the instincts and appears the ability and quickness to be a very good point guard. Ran out of real estate, did Delosio at the baseline, and Iowa gets it back.
Well, that's a place you don't want the ball to go, and that's in the corner where you have the out of bounds lines. Right there, Iowa wisely used 2 of those lines to corner Delosier down there, and Delosier stepped out of bounds.
The inbounds in traffic is Roy Marble. He's all tied up by Lyndon Jones, and a foul is called. Lyndon's 2nd personal 4 on Indiana. Stay tuned, the end of the game. Quinn and I will announce the Budweiser player of the game. And right now, Ed Horton with his big 16 points. And the work he's done off the board, certainly a leading candidate. The Budweiser player of the game at the end of our telecast. 6 Indiana turnovers here in the second half. Horton converts down low off the inbound. He has 18 points. Iowa leads by 11.
Well, you see the talent and the play of the Hawkeyes. The guys are just starting to exert themselves a little bit more. Right there, Ed Horton just moved Magnus Pelkowski right out of the way. Got an easy basket under there. But that's a little bit of the senior experience. A whole lot of talent by Ed Horton.
As Pelkowski has missed a lot of time with injury this year. Cree Smith, he also has had an injury-riddled career, it seems like. Delosio, good feed inside of Robinson. Nothing there, very good patience, but now the shot clock down to 7. Pelkowski from the outside hits a 2-pointer.
Magnus Pelkowski can make that shot. He's a little deceiving that he's about 6'11", and most people think he should play on the block, but he can make that shot. Ask him, Matt Bullard.
And he does. Seven points for Bullard in the game. 5 here in the second half. Mark Robinson. 11 and a half minutes to go in the game, and Robinson on the move. Bullard had the rebound slapped away. Moses picks up to Marble.
That's what Roy Marble does best. He can take the ball to the basket with anybody, so Indiana's got to do a better job of keeping him out of there, but Roy Marble feels very confident in his ability to take it to the hole.
Iowa's lead is 14.
Now, Indiana can't get caught up in trying to get all 14 of those points back in one shot. They got a shot. They got to take it. If they don't, they just need to be patient. That was not a shot that they should have taken right there.
Moses to Marble.
Sure, you'll see a time up coming up now because, the fans are into it.
Crisp taste of Beechwood aged Budweiser.
Walking in a winter wonderland. In the meadow we can do a snowman. Later on we'll conspire as we dream by the fire.
With flights to 14 Florida cities and the Bahamas, Piedmont can change all your ideas about winter.
Walking in a winter wonderland.
Car ready? Yeah. Let those Good Wrench guys at the GM dealer check it out.
So any idea where...
But I'll let you know when I get there.
Good Wrench knows it's not just a car, it's your freedom.
I ate a lot of stuff because it was chic. I mean, I ate raw fish because it was chic. But steaks and burgers, they make me happy. And I like being happy.
I got a taste for some real food.
And there's a long pass right there to Roy Marble, but it was a bad shot by Delosier that caused that to happen. But it's the kind of play that allows it to happen. You take a long shot, there's usually a long rebound. Delosier, the last man back on defense, went to the basket, allowed the Hawkeyes to get the easy hoop.
Indiana takes over offensively. Chucky White now gets it into the right man's hands. Jamal Meeks. Cree Smith, good feed to Sloan. Oh, he traveled. They did what they had to do to break that pressure defense that time. And
well, they struggled so much with that press that Brian Sloan was happy to be free to have an opportunity for the basket. He just traveled.
Somebody forgot about Gibson at the back door. Hawkeyes really beginning to put their game together now. Almost halfway through the second half. Chucky White hustles it across. Over Horton. Rebound pried loose by Ray Thompson. Here comes Horton. Marble was fouled on the rebound by Sloan. Second on Sloan, fifth on the Hoosiers. Non-shooting affair. Iowa gets it out of bounds. There's the shooting in this half.
I think that says it all right there. 67 to 39% for Indiana. Iowa's come out. A lot of the shots have been layups. They pushed the ball up offensively, defensively. Their pressures caused the Hoosiers problem. And that's why Iowa's out now to 18, 20-point lead.
Armstrong for three. Credit certainly the execution by Iowa, both ends of the floor, and also their intensity here in the second half. Inside Robinson. White overjumped the ball. Armstrong picks up. Iowa's on a 16-2 run. Oh, BJ, what a move.
BJ went back to the streets of Detroit for that one. He wrapped it behind his back, took it to the basket, got the foul.
Foul is on Sloan. It's his third. Watch this again.
Now, this is BJ. He goes and takes the ball like he's going to go one way, goes behind his back, takes it to the basket. Fisher calls the foul. B.J. Armstrong has a chance for 2 foul shots.
Armstrong with 11 points. Sat out the game at Michigan last Saturday with a bit of a knee injury. Did come back and played against Illinois. Hit 5 of 11 from the field, 13 points at Illinois.
Very bright kid, B.J. Armstrong. He's got an excellent future in the program. He'll be a good point guard, handle the ball, be able to find people, and has had a great career here at Iowa. You know, it hurts them tremendously not to have him at full strength going into the tournament. So I'm sure they're doing everything they can just to get him healthy.
9.5 minutes to go. Iowa leading now by a hefty amount. Cree Smith for 3. Hoosiers need a few more of those.
Hoosiers need a lot more of those.
Horton lost the handle on it. Here comes Cree Smith. Got a 3-on-1 break. Smith takes it himself. Cree Smith now with 12 points. Armstrong right back for Iowa. 9 minutes straight up to go in the game. We've got a timeout taken by the Hawkeyes. 8:56 left to go. We'll return after these words from your local stations.
If you're looking for a rotor or a windshield wiper motor, yeah, you'll find it at CarQuest. Stop by for hard-working Wix filters. Whether you drive a domestic or a foreign car, Wix filters remove dirt and contaminants from your engine to keep it running cleaner and longer. For performance and protection, look to Wicks. Take it from Roy Clark and the repairmen. If it's a really tough part, then don't lose heart. Yeah, you'll find it at CarQuest.
Even though I never told you, you were special. You had so much more to teach than the 3 R's. I talk about you now and then, and when I do, everyone had a teacher just like you. Dedicated, hardworking, caring. If I knew then what I know now, I would have thanked you a long time ago. Your local Chevy dealers salute teachers, the heartbeat of Central Indiana.
To the heartbeat of America.
Wayne Larrabee and Quinn Buckner, they're whooping it up here in Iowa City. The Hawkeyes leading 66-48. 8:56 to go in the game.
You know, that's why I like college basketball. I mean, the zanies come out. I mean, the man's got shades on inside, head wrapped up, and I believe that's a medical student, too.
Well, they've got a great medical school here in Iowa City. Hawkeyes on the attack. Iowa trying for its 22nd victory of the season. Tremendous program they have here in all sports, really the entire athletic program. Bump Elliott has been just incredible over the last decade plus. Bullard feeding Thompson, knocked away by Sloan. Meeks hustles and is fouled. Well, I believe Bullard reaching in is the man they caught with a foul.
It was. Matt got, you know, was disappointed his pass didn't get to the target, got anxious and got called for that foul for reaching in.
That's the first on Bullard, fourth on the team. 8.5 left to be played.
Now here the Hawkeyes have backed it up to three-quarter court, their press that is, and they just want to make the Hoosiers use some time up before they get it down court.
Chucky White, Cree Smith for 3. Rebound Robinson goes right back for 2. Mark Robinson with 13 points. He and Cree Smith leading the way for the Hoosiers.
Well, that play is the kind of play that Bob Knight and the coaching staff thought they would see a lot of with Mark Robinson. They haven't seen it, and because of that, Mark Robinson hadn't had a chance to play much. B.J. Armstrong just shoot that three-pointer.
16 now for Armstrong, his second three-pointer of the second half. Just under 8 minutes left to be played.
Iowa's decided to go into now the 2-3 zone. The Hoosiers having a difficult time to get the ball in the basket, so Iowa decided to go to the 2-3, make the Hoosiers shoot jump shots.
Ball fried loose down low. Chucky White finds a handle. Oh, and Robinson on an impressive slam. 15 for Mark Robinson. Armstrong. The shooter's bounce. He has 18. This is Meeks. Cree Smith gets the step, batted away by Armstrong, right over to Sloan. Hoosiers don't miss a beat. They just keep moving the ball.
They just keep going right at it.
Nice feed from Meeks into White. Score the field goal.
That is an excellent feed right there from Jamal Meeks. That's a tough pass to make against his zone. Just prior to that, Jamal Meeks tried to make that pass, and it got taken away. He was able to get it in time. As you see, Matt Bullitt has his second foul. Get it to Chucky White, who went in, not only got the basket, but has a chance for a three-point play.
Chucky White at the free throw line. I mentioned a transfer from Dodge City, Kansas. Great athletic ability. Excellent vertical leapers. And White at the line completes the play. He has 10 now in the ball game. Iowa leading by 16. Wade looking Bill. B.J. Armstrong. Marble with the update, but away from the ball looking Bill and drawing some contact with Brian Sloan. And Sloan is the man that called the foul on, is it not? No, they called it on looking Bill. It'll be Indiana basketball. Looking Bill with his third personal, sixth on the team. Indiana's on a 12-5 run at this point.
The reason they've gotten that run, Wayne, is that they've been a great deal more patient offensively. But when they see a chance to attack the defense, that's what they've done. For example,
Bree Smith connects from the outside for 2.
Right there, Jamal Meeks attacked the defense, causing the defense to collapse, allowing Bree Smith to be wide open for that shot. And that's the kind of thing the Hoosiers will have to do offensively to get back in this game.
Armstrong. Rebound Robinson. Fouled from behind by Lookingbill. Number 4 on Wade Lookingbill, and that puts Iowa over the foul limit. 6:14 left to go in the game, and the Hoosiers starting to make things interesting. The Iowa lead has been sliced down to 14.
Well, the other thing the Hoosiers have to do is what they did on this end, is play good defense, get the rebound, and try to see if they have an opportunity to get a fast break. If they don't, bring it back out and then attack the defense, and that's what they've been able to do. And I do think that Iowa, getting off to such a good start here, got a little bit complacent. They got the kind of lead they felt they should have had early in the game. And then guys tend to feel, well, we can get this anytime we want to, and they don't continue to play hard. And right now, the momentum, if you will, is in the Hoosiers' favor.
1-on-1 opportunity at the line. Robinson misses the free throw. Bullard is there for the rebound. Here comes B.J. Armstrong. Marble. 14 for Marble, 18 for Armstrong. Hoosiers working against the pressure. Iowa's increased the defense a little bit more in the backcourt here in the last minute or so. White, there's Bree Smith. Indiana working the perimeter. Smith can hit that. Oh, nice jump pass inside, and White down low leaves it short. Horton the rebound.
I hear fans saying, good rebound, Eddie. If they say that every time Horton gets a rebound, they won't be able to talk at the end of the game.
It'll be hoarse. The foul is on Brian Sloan. His 4th, and that foul puts Indiana over the limit with 5:29 to go. Hawkeyes leading by 16, and Wade Lookingbill waiting at the free throw line. There's the general. He has to be happy, Quinn Buckner, I think, with the way these young kids have played. For those of you who are just tuning in, Indiana did not start their starting lineup. And matter of fact, Jay Edwards, Todd Jadlow, 2 starters, are in street clothes. Eric Anderson is at the end of the bench. He hasn't played today. Joe Hillman hasn't played today. There are some of the players on the right. That's Jay Edwards, and in the middle of the screen right there is Todd Jadlow. Lookingbill completes the first.
So the thing about Bob Knight is that even though it appears he gets concerned about winning losses, the main concern is that the kids play well or play to their ability. And I think for the most part, these kids have played hard. Where they have gotten a little carried away is they haven't handled the ball as well as I think you'd like to see in any contest. But part of that is due a great deal to the amount of pressure that's been placed on them by the Hawkeyes.
Hawkeyes have executed their pressure defense pretty well. Here's Jamal Meeks. Boy, I tell you, I like him. I think he's going to be a great player in this program.
He's really helped the program a great deal. As I said, he makes things happen on both ends of the court.
Going back door for Robinson. Here's Pelkowski, and they'll reset the offense. Bree Smith with a 3-point try. Bullard had position on the rebound, and he was fouled by Pelkowski. Number 2 on Magnus Pelkowski. A little over 5 minutes left to go. Both teams are over the foul limit. As I mentioned earlier in the first half of play, Bob Knight doing a lot of teaching in this game with these players. Now, of course, he does it anyway. I mean, he'll talk to he'll be constantly instructing his starters as well.
Doesn't miss an opportunity to teach players at all.
Rebound Thompson knifing through. Yes, and a foul. Foul is on Pelkowski. It's his 3rd.
Well, Pelkowski's had a real problem, playing against people quicker than he. Raymond Thompson is one of the toughest players in the conference, and we got some pullers for him, some backers from the Hawkeyes saying that Raymond Thompson should have been the freshman of the year. I'd say he's an outstanding player, but there are a lot of good freshmen in this conference this year.
There's the turnover off the defense. Errant pass, Armstrong. From the corner, Marble for 2. Roy thought he had 3. 16 points now for Marble. Iowa has rebuilt that lead to 23 points. Hawkeyes on a 9-0 run. Pelkowski Bree Smith. Indiana, plenty of time in the shot clock. Meeks for three. Ed Horton climbs the board.
This is what Ed likes. This is where he likes to play.
Thompson converts.
Ed Horton likes to get the ball on the break. He must imagine himself as a 6'7", 240-pound guard so he can kick it just like he did.
And answering on the other end is Cree Smith with 16. Yeah, I get the impression sometimes that Ed Horton really relishes taking that ball down court. Nice feed from Armstrong, broken up by Meeks. Chucky White. Rebound taken by Ray Thompson. This is Iowa's tempo. Marble. Blocking foul on Pelkowski, who took the brunt of it, not only from the standpoint of a foul, but he is shaken up.
Ball is pushed up to Roy Marble. He's got his mind made up. He's going to dunk it. The officials call that a foul
on Pelkowski. Let's see if we can get another angle here.
It's a tough call. It really is a tough call to make.
That's a very tough call to make. Magnus took a knee right in the chest.
Does that tell you how high that Roy Marble can jump or what?
Yeah, because Pelkowski's chest is about what? Almost 6'9" off the floor. He's 6'10" overall. Pelkowski heads off and Brian Sloan back on. What's that chest? At about 6'8" at least, or thereabouts?
Well, Wayne, I would challenge you on the 6'9" if he's 6'10". I mean,
no, he's 6'10" overall. Is what they list him as.
Yes, I say the chest is about
6'7".
6'7".
Nah. Magnus may have been up in the air a little bit there.
Let's just say that Roy Marble was up very high.
Just trying to get you in this game, buddy. Cree Smith from the outside for three. 19 now for Cree.
Give Cree credit. He's been going at it. He's had some trouble getting it going down, but that hadn't stopped him from shooting it up there.
19 points. Yeah, his shooting percentage won't be glistening in the morning, but the figure will help the scoring. Armstrong. Horton from the outside. Rebound fought for, and Cree Smith comes up with a loose ball. Got a 2-on-2 working here. Horton takes the rebound. Here we go.
Eddie Horton show.
Nice feed to Armstrong, and BJ backs off. Didn't have the shot as Robinson got back quickly on defense. Final 3 minutes of play.
People
Marble.
Like Roy Marble, this is his last shot to play in front of the home crowd, so I'm sure he'll do everything he can do to take advantage of the last 2.5 minutes of his college career here at Iowa. And a great career it's been.
The seniors now have scored 55 points. They got off to a slow start in the first half, but they played well. Late first half into the second half. That's a 2-point bank shot by Smith. 21 now for Cree. Horton on the drive, lost the handle on it. It'll belong to Indiana. Boy, you're right. He is just a, he's a point guard in a 6'8", 240-pound body. That's what Ed Horton is. I think he really would love to be a guard.
Yeah, you can see it. He gets it in the fast break situation as you see the seniors starting to go off and get a hand from the crowd right here.
Standing ovation as the Hawkeyes lead by 20.
Long row of junkers is no match for the Ford Bigfoot. But here's a real test. Can a regular Ford 4x4 drive over it carrying a Chevy and towing the 14,000-pound Bigfoot? The Ford starts clawing over the jagged metal with a Chevy on board and towing Bigfoot. Ford is the only pickup with 4 choices of multi-port fuel-injected engines to give you the power you want when you need it. Yes, the Ford triumphs over the twisted junkers in spite of its tremendous load. Ford, the best-built American trucks, 8 years running, built Ford tough.
When the John Deere Company needed a voice and data system linking many locations today and many more tomorrow, they needed big thinking. They chose Ameritech, the information company that custom designed a system that could expand services effortlessly, add locations endlessly. A system always geared for growth. Because with communications, like anything else, you reap what you sow. Ameritech. Solutions that work.
Wayne Larrabee and Quinn Buckner. Hawkeyes going for their 22nd win of the season. Iowa's out-rebounded Indiana 43-34 for the game. Ed Horton has 10 of those rebounds, so he's hit another game of double-digit scoring and double digits in rebounds. His 18th game of those kinds of numbers.
Well, I said that was going to be a problem for the Hoosiers, the rebounding. And when you get out-rebounded by, some 18 rebounds, there's not a lot you can do about it, because with Iowa's game, they want to run. And if they can get it off the rebound, that's where they're at their best, where they can beat the defense back in transition.
Bree Smith from the outside. Sloan hitting the board, and a foul called finally. Foul coming up on Looking Bill. That's his 5th personal, yeah. Looking Bill leaves the lineup. 2 minutes, a little over 2 minutes left to go. As I mentioned, the seniors for Iowa, we had a statistic early in the ball game where they were struggling, but they finished up with 55 points, and that's a nice output for the 3 seniors. 18 for Armstrong, 18 for Marble, 18 for Ed Horton, along with 10 rebounds for Ed Horton.
Wade Lookinbill, as you see there in the middle of the screen next to Roy Marble, had a tough afternoon. Couldn't get it going here today. Tried everything he could. Some days it's just like that. You just can't get it going. Wade Lookinbill had one of those days.
Lane violation called. Still 1-on-1 opportunity for Sloan. Rebound back tapped and taken by Robinson. Had it poked away for a moment. Robinson finds Meeks over Tubbs, left it short, but right there to retrieve and poke it home is Delosio.
That's one of those kind of shots you shoot him. Everybody said that was a shot. No, I was a pass. I knew where Delosio was all the time.
From the outside, it won't go for Moses. Chased down by Cree Smith. Here's Jamal Meeks. Good move by Meeks. My goodness. 6 points for Jamal.
He got Troy Skinner going one way, was able to get going back to the basket, and Troy never recovered from the first fake.
You never made a move like that, did you?
No, it's too slow. I can tell you that.
Brig Tubbs. And Robinson takes the rebound. Final 2 minutes of play. Here's Meeks from the outside. Tubbs climbs the board. Moses to Garner. Oh, Skinner to Moses. And it's taken away by Sloan. From the outside, Robinson, it won't go. Rebound knocked out of bounds.
Well, 47 seconds to go here. Now it's a chance for everybody, once this game is over, both teams to go back, rethink what they've done all season, get themselves prepared to go in the NCAA tournament, because both of these teams will surely be involved in that and have a good chance.
Bree Smith now has 23 points. The lead is 14 for the Hawkeyes. Final 36 seconds. Skinner got tangled up at the baseline, and foul is called. I believe Brian Sloan, at least he's the man who's debating with Ron Winter, the official. Now they're calling the foul on Robinson. Mark Robinson, second personal. Skinner at the free throw line.
Out of this, I think both coaches have to be pretty pleased. Iowa was basically able to get done what they wanted to get accomplished. Come out, play hard, get a good victory, have some confidence built as they go into the NCAA tournament. Bob Knight's team there's nothing to gain, and I've said that. At this particular stage, you want to make sure you get your team healthy, both mentally and physically, and so he decided not to go with some of his starters, and I think he got the results he wanted in terms of making sure that the other kids just play hard.
Brian Garner knocked it down. Garner and Delosio collide right in front of us, and a foul called on Delosio. First personal on Mike Delosio. I'd like to take this moment to thank all of the Big Ten sports information staffs who've been invaluable in helping us cover the Big Ten this season. It's been a pleasure to work with all of them. They've been marvelous, and in particular here today, of course, Indiana and Iowa and their staffs.
Well, Wayne, I'm going to take this chance to say, I've really enjoyed it. I've had a good time working with you.
It's been a lot of fun.
It's been a lot of fun. This is a great job. I don't know how they can call this a job. They give you the best seat in the house. You get to watch a great basketball game. You got to love that.
Don't they drop a few bucks on you, too?
They paying you? I'm going to talk to them about that. They're not paying me.
Garner at the line for a second. It has been a pleasure, Quinn Buckner, to work with you. Really has. Second upcoming for Garner. Wish you the best in your NCAA endeavors. 4 points for Garner at the line. Certainly we wish the best for the Big Ten teams in their postseason. Should be quite a few of them going to the NCAA and some others going to the NIT. Final 20 seconds. Delosio. Bree Smith still firing out there.
Still cranking jump shot.
Here's Skinner. Ball taken away as time winds down. Ran out of real estate of the baseline. Some of the walk-ons getting a chance to play here for Iowa. 1 second left. And that will do it. We will return after these messages. Indiana falls to Iowa in the Big Ten wrap.
The Clydesdales, the symbol of Budweiser quality, of Beechwood aging, the choicest natural ingredients, and a genuine commitment to freshness and taste. One beer lives up to all this. Budweiser.
You may not see me in the sports pages, but I play for one of the world's largest teams, Days Inns, the fastest growing hotel chain in the world. Our most valuable players are the 130 Days Inn owners right here in the Big Ten Conference. They'll give you a great room at a great price with restaurants, pools, lounges, even meeting rooms. When it comes to great prices and great locations, see why the professional traveler stays with us.
Congratulations to B.J. Armstrong, our Budweiser player of the game. He ran the Iowa offense very well today. Contributed 18 points in his final appearance in Iowa City. Also, Roy Marble with 19. Ed Horton with 18 points. Played very well in their final games in Iowa City as members of the Hawkeye program. But B.J. Armstrong, our Budweiser player of the game. Again, the final score, the Iowa Hawkeyes 87, the Indiana Hoosiers 70. Indiana now 25-6 heading into the NCAA. The Iowa Hawkeyes 22-9. Today's Big Ten game has been brought to you by Budweiser Beechwood Age for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you. By U.S. Air. U.S. Air warms up your winter with flights to Arizona, Florida, and California. By Ford and your local Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? And by the owners of Days Inns, Hotels, and Suites in the Big Ten. The executive producer of Big Ten basketball is Peter Rolfe. Today's game produced by Kent Samuel. Directed by Roy Alpers. Our technical director, Joe Posbeck. Our associate director, Susan Evans. And we'd like to thank the rest of our crew. They've done a great job. All these folks have been working with us throughout the year. We really certainly appreciate their efforts and making this a most enjoyable experience. It's been a super season of Big Ten basketball, and certainly I speak for Quinn Buckner. This is Wayne Larrabee saying it's been a pleasure to be with you. This has been a copyrighted presentation of Big Ten Productions in conjunction with Raycom Sports and Entertainment.